Are you ready for it?
Are you ready for it? Okay. Um, Hello everybody. Welcome to the Mean Stream. We're Alex and Lisa. And we're gonna get a little bit mean. And what's today's topic, Alex?
We're going to discuss Taylor's evil satanic witchcraft in her concert that I just saw.
Yes, we're analyzing the satanic imagery in Taylor Swift's Eras.
Yes. Well, and also just talking about it in general, but we have to have the catchy gay title. But I will say, I do think it's possible she's a psy vamp. I am exhausted after. I feel like I just lived two lives. I feel like I just did 10 past life progressions, and which is honestly kind of what it's like, to be fair, because it's all the eras.
Mhm.
But I feel very emotionally tired. But I got some
Yeah.
candy. I'm gonna try to revamp.
Yeah.
Try to
I
get
will
some
say,
life
like,
back.
by the time you get to 1989, like, I love 1989, that portion of it, but by the time you get there, you're like, "Oh my god, I'm so tired." Like, I still enjoyed it, I was still
Yeah,
loving it, but I was just like, "Okay, we're on the 5th song from Midnights. I like this song, but oh."
yeah. I can only imagine, actually being there. It was probably exhausting. It must be exhausting.
Yeah. Well, remember, I stood for 4 hours because the movie is
Yeah, that's
shorter
tough.
than the
Oh,
tour.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
tough.
I
I
even
was
made
thinking about
notes
that.
about the transitions and stuff that they cut out.
Mm,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're talking movie versus show, the actual
Yeah, a little
show,
bit. A little
and
bit, yeah,
then
but, and then also I've seen it twice, and the last time I saw it was, over a week ago, and then you just saw it tonight, you
mhm,
just got back, so we're gonna have my removed perspective and your fresh
mhm.
perspective
And
on the
Lisa told me,
TAYVOODOO.
she's like, "I want you to write down every song that you cried to." And I was like, "Okay." So I did.
That was a
And
joke, but I'm glad you did
oh,
it.
I actually did. And then I did write down every song that I felt had lesbian energy, which there was quite a few, to be fair.
Oh
And
my
every
gosh.
satanic song, that is something that I could feel the energy or that had direct occult imagery. Karma. But anyway.
I love it. Well, let's see. Celtic Heritage says tons of people love my Ravenclaw costume or basically
Mm,
off-brand Hogwarts trunk at my mom's church trunk or treat. Well, that's
nice.
awesome. Speaking of which, Alex, how was your Halloween?
I ate a lot. I had
I
nachos
tried.
and I had strawberry ice cream. So I did have strawberry. I had evil estrogen and PUFA, but slight. It was still Zochi chips. But that's enough PUFA where we're regressing back to the moon. It was enough.
My goodness. Well,
But yeah.
I I tried to eat a lot. This is the problem I have is I've gotten I've forgotten how to eat. Like that sounds dumb. Because I made these beautiful brownies and oh my gosh, they were
I
so
know,
good.
I
They're the
saw
best
them.
brownies ever. They're caramel brownies. It's like salted caramel and brownies, and they're all from scratch. And the brownies have like the fancy Italian flour that's like less complex glutens, so you can eat it without getting
Yeah.
bloated. And I used organic sugar and butter,
Boosh.
like other oils. And then the caramel, I stood over the stove with a pot and the
Oh,
sugar and butter, and
nice.
I made it. Yeah, I used, the sweetened
That's
condensed
hard.
milk. It is, yeah. I mean, I used to have a thermometer, so it was
Oh,
kind of
that's a little
easy.
easier. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Still hard.
yeah. It's just hard to stand there and be like,
Yeah.
when you want to touch it and you realize if you touch it, your finger will fall off because it's like 300 degrees.
Yeah, it's
And one
tough.
time it splashed me and it got under my eye, and I'm glad that it
Oh,
cooled down enough before it like burned
yeah.
me. Um, but yeah, so I made that and I ate one, and this is the problem. This is what happens with severe vitamin B12 deficiency is that you're more prone to like mouth ulcers. And
Mm.
I just didn't realize until I ate the brownie that I had a giant mouth ulcer like over here underneath. Yeah, and so it's been hard to eat just because it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
could see that.
I had one slice of pizza and three breadsticks and some honeydew melon, um, just some soup, and a little
Oh,
bit of chicken.
that's not a
That's all that much.
lot.
I
I
know,
ate
and
a
then I
lot.
wanted to eat candy. I ate a little tiny packet of Nerds and a lollipop and the brownie cupcake, and I know I have some candy here though. Like, what do you have with you? You have the
I just popped by Walmart and I got these blue raspberry lemonade Swedish fish.
blue raspberry
And
lemonade
then
Swedish fish.
Sour Patch
Oh,
lemonade. I'm in a lemonade mood.
yeah. I ate
So,
the Sour Patch Kids during the movie
mm,
when I went. Yeah, but today I got pumpkin peeps.
mm,
Yeah, and then I got
represent.
yeah, I got gingins, which are like little ginger chews. They make your teeth fall out. They're not strong enough because they're so tough to eat. And
Yeah,
I got
it
some
is.
Kinder Marble chocolate. I don't think I'm going to eat this one because I feel like chocolate really triggers the mouth ulcer.
It's acidic for
Yeah, it's
sure.
sensitive. Yeah, that's what I think that's what caused it because it's like my mouth was already sensitive, but the really rich cocoa from the
It's
brownie, like,
acidic.
yeah, acidic, just like, yeah, blew it up. Anyways, shall we get into it?
I'm ready.
I'm ready for it too.
I
Okay.
am. Hey,
So,
Newly.
Taylor's Eras Tour. We all know the epic struggle that I went through to get tickets to that tour and
She
how I
has a whole video
cried.
about it on her channel.
I have multiple videos about it. How I cried. Happy Halloween, Newly. Cried for 30 days until Taylor Swift and her team selected me amongst her many fans and many other fans too to have a second chance and basically be granted tickets. You have to pay for them still, but basically you say how much you want to pay for them and then you'll give you tickets. And I went to the tour and it was amazing and everything I wanted except for a few select songs. And then I was
Mhm,
so happy that I could relive it with the film, and then
mhm.
you got to see it with the film, and that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad she did it.
Hmm.
Because I will say off the bat, we're gonna start sweet and then we'll get to nasty and bitter later. I'm just kidding. But we're gonna start some sweetness. I will say it did remind me of why I love her so much,
Hmm.
which is good because it's good to see her in her element. Like when you hear her prologue and it's all nasty and bitchy, or you see her tweets about fanning the flames of white supremacy or abortion and how obsessed she is with it, like when you see these kind of things, it's really ugly. Um, but when she's there and she's just her presence, like her full presence, her facial expressions, who she is, and you can actually see her, she is enchanting. She's probably
Yeah.
a witch, but I'm just kidding. But no, but she's enchanting. It's really magic to see her
Yeah.
perform. Like she's very good.
Yeah. When she's
And
in her element, she's great. I think
mhm,
that's the issue with her is when she writes these prologues and stuff and she's
mhm,
outside her element, she has to project this character. Like,
mhm.
like she has to create a new version of herself, but when she's on stage, I think she's like
She can
her true
just be
self.
her. And I
Yeah.
think too, because she is so extroverted as a person, it really helps her to be around all those people. She has so much energy. She sucked
Hmm.
all the energy out of me. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm introverted, so it was a lot. It was really intense, but it was
Hmm.
good. I enjoyed it. So we'll say
Yeah.
that to start with, a little bit of positivity. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
We're gonna
it
go through
reminded
it.
me. Yeah, it
Yeah.
reminded me how much I love her and why. So
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm glad to hear that. And I definitely really enjoyed it. And my mom, who came with me the second time I saw it, said it was fantastic. She also went to the tour with me. So, I mean, she loves Taylor. She's a Reputation stan. And even after this one, she was like, Reputation tour was better. And then she was like, the best part of this tour was the Reputation section.
No. Yeah, she loves that.
Yeah. Well, she loves it. And then Folklore is her second favorite. But and then Red.
Nice.
It goes Reputation, Folklore, then Red. And for me, it goes Red. If I went to like the tour, like stuff I want to see on tour, it goes Red, Reputation, then I guess Folklore, 1989 are tied. But yeah, the so we're gonna go through everything era by era, go over all the songs, all the things that we wish were in the tour, all the things that she cut from the tour, and take it from there. So first, we're gonna go over the intro, so the introduction. My name is Lisa, and I was born in 1989. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously the first image you see is satanic because it brings the midnight clock and it starts at 13, which is this demonic number. So she does start pretty strong. And I noticed it. Like I was like, okay, like we know 13 is it's an occultic number. It is very much occult. I think, is it the number? No, I don't think it's the number of
I
one.
mean,
I
I
don't
think
know enough.
I know you're saying that to be funny, but I do think it's just because she was born December 13th.
It probably is that simple, but still, no
We
coincidences
have to make it more
exist.
complicated and conspiracy.
Yes, and also too, Newly, do know Lisa has hacked into my account, so if she chats with my name, that's Lisa.
I do.
She's wearing me as a mask. I'm just
Wearing your skin suit.
kidding. But anyways, I just want people to know. But
You've been eating
in
pizza,
case Lisa
Alex.
like cusses people out in the chat, then they'll know it wasn't me. So because she totally would do that, you know.
Oh my
I'm just
gosh.
kidding. But so it starts out really strong. So we have 13, which is kind of, you know, Friday the 13th. It actually came out on Friday the 13th as well, which is also kind of evil. But it goes to 12 o'clock, which is midnight, which is the bewitching hour. So it does have an occultic, whether Taylor realizes or not. I think sometimes she's so like Satanism comes so naturally to her that she will do it with like subconsciously. Because I agree, she's probably not doing it like intentional, but it is like, so I was like, ooh, whoa, we got the clock like right away. I'm like, okay. And then we go into Lover Era, which is like her, you know, super LGBTQIA plus, trans, non-binary, every era plus, you know, feministy politics, right? So she starts with the politics and all that first. And you see the pink and the blue and all that kind of stuff. And it's pretty. And I'm not sure. I couldn't tell if that was satanic or not. I was trying to like look at it through that lens a little bit, but I was like, like I'm not sure. So that one I was a little bit uncertain about. And then when we get to Midnights, that was just like blatant.
I 100%. I'm just moving my camera around. I 100% disagree with Alex, but I love his take and I think it's hilarious. And I embrace the witchy imagery, although I'm not a witch. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the clock is that was the first thing I had noted here. I was like, let's talk about the clock. And it was so exciting at the tour when it started, and everybody was just like, oh my gosh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And yeah, and I love the part where I like got emotional. I didn't cry because you know I'm 3 Enneagram, but I did feel emotions, which is still rare for me. In the intro, and then during the movie, I didn't. You know, it was weird when I was by myself. I didn't, but each time when I was with my mom, I did. I feel like I'm just like leeching off of her Scorpio moon, Cancer rising. You know, all that wateriness in her. I'm just like,
well, I definitely, when she was going through the eras, I'm like, it's so pretty, like satanic or not, the pink is pretty. It's very pretty imagery and it's like bright. And I appreciate the brightness because most of her stuff now is like really dark and like very, again, kind of but I like the light and it starts with that. And I loved it. And I'm sure you're not surprised, but totally was crying with Miss Americana. That one got me, but I love that song. That song is like my political activist song. It's totally like a song that, and that's the thing. That's when I realized when it first started, I was like, this is going to be a very emotional thing for me because her songs, they are indicative of eras and times of my life personally, because I've listened to her so much. And when Lover came out, it was a pretty dark time. It was when I was living in El Paso and I was really struggling with my past relationship at the time. And there was just a lot of stuff going on. So it brings back those kind of anthems. And that anthem is particularly Miss Americana that I was so invested in because it kind of helped me. It like kept me afloat. And it was the song I was listening to on repeat as I drove out of El Paso, finally. So that was a horrible time of my life because it felt like a revolution when I was leaving. But it's like, so I realized they were all going to have these super emotional dynamics when that happened. But yeah, totally, that was one of the ones I cried.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got really emotional to the lead up because it was, I just love going through it where she's like, and then
love it.
my name is Taylor and I was born 1989, big reputation. And then in the folklore, I didn't hear Evermore, but I think that her using the in the folklore like represented both albums.
She did say Evermore.
Oh, she did? Okay, I couldn't hear it, but I'm glad you did.
It's just when the crowd is loud, but yeah.
Oh, okay. And then I heard Fearless, I heard Speak Now. I feel like there was nothing for debut, but obviously it's just called Taylor Swift, and I feel like my name is Taylor.
Yeah.
What's enough? And then Lover, right?
I love the end. Then she comes out with like her, I don't know why, but that outfit, it gives me lesbian energy, but I think it's because she's trying to be LGBT, whatever, you know? So she kind of takes on that vibe when she comes out in that suit. and then we will have to discuss the man. But
Yeah. Well,
that's
first, I
coming
love
up.
it when she says, with Miss Americana, where she's like, "It's been a long time coming," but because I
Love
really
it.
do feel like she's singing to the crowd when she's saying, "It's you and me." That's my whole
Mhm.
world. And she's saying to the audience, "You're my whole world." And I really do believe that because I mean, we love Taylor, but like she for sure has some narcissistic tendencies, which I support. Taylor, have them all. Like, do what makes you happy. but um, but but that is part of the reason why she's so successful because she's made her fuel her audience, and so we benefit
Mhm.
from the narcissism.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
true. And she's
Mhm.
very entertaining, and I love it when she comes out. It's amazing.
Mhm.
I actually really like the leather outfit. I didn't think I'd like the leather set. I
Mhm.
really didn't, but I
Mhm.
actually did, with the exception of one,
Because
which we'll
it's
get to.
fun.
But
Yeah.
one of them I just kind of deleted out of my mind. But
Yeah.
we'll get to
Well,
it.
well, Cruel Summer was great, and I
Yes.
love it. And even in concert, it was so wonderful screaming the bridge because it is one of her best bridges of all time.
Yeah.
And
You're
and
not
that
able
was
to
just
not sing it. I had to. I was singing it.
I know. I just like I was so I mean, in the movie, the first time I saw it, because that was opening weekend, and then at the tour, it's just like I don't know how to describe it. It's so much fun, and you feel like you're a part of something. And I think she's really good at doing that.
Hmm. Yeah, her little gay intro. She's so gay. Like
Hmm.
whether she,
Oh, hi.
yeah, she's so gay. Like there were so many times, which again I appreciate because I'm like, I like her. I don't like this weird projection thing that she's doing where she acts like
Hmm.
she's so serious and all this. She's not. Like she's very cheerful, and so when she's in the stage and stuff, she's just her. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, I miss her. Like where's this Taylor been? Where's she been the past 5 years?
Yeah. And I totally
So.
believe her when she says this power is
Mhm.
getting to my head, and then she tries to manipulate the crowd. And I was like, you do it, girl. Like you be you. You
That was
feel like the
very,
man if you want to feel like the man. And
it was
obviously,
very narc.
yeah,
That was a narc moment, I will give
yeah.
her. It was. I was like, okay,
But I
Taylor. But
applaud it.
but that's her. That's
Yeah,
genuinely her, like to her
yeah.
core. She loves bragging.
Hmm.
I think it's her favorite thing in the world to do. He's like, I sold out the SoFi Stadium.
Hmm.
She
Yeah,
always does that though. But I didn't mind it at all. But I just like it because I like her. I like actual her,
yeah.
not fake her.
Same.
So when she then goes in, she's like, I feel powerful. She's like, I feel like a man. I was like, so gay.
Yeah,
And so then we go into the man, right? That was the next one. Now, what
yeah.
did you think of the man?
Well, there's two outfits. There's the black jacket and the silver jacket, and I was really happy they went with the silver jacket.
Hmm.
And that's basically all I have to say about it.
So I will say
Outfit was amazing.
it was interesting
Hmm.
because she went with this like corporate vibe,
Hmm.
which I thought was weird. I'm like, girl, you've never been stepped into an office. Just kidding. She has with like the
Yeah.
studios and stuff. But
Well, also like her either I think she's going with the corporate vibe because you have to remember her father was a Merrill Lynch executive. And so she
that's
probably
true.
like went daddy daughter, days there.
That's true. But I really liked the set. I really liked how it was done. I
Hmm.
liked the choreography. I liked everything about it, to be honest. It
Yeah.
was really gay when she was sitting there and she's like, and the angle was all like in her face. I was
Hmm.
like, oh my God, she's so gay. But I
Yeah.
will say that is on my lesbian list. So the man was one of them where she had lesbian energy. It was very
Yeah.
strong,
But
very blatant.
applauded lesbian energy.
Well,
Living her best
sure.
life lesbian energy.
Yeah, I have no issue with it, but I will just say it was all there. And I was like, okay, Taylor. Taylor is the man. But she, in astrology, she has Mars at her ascendant. So she is actually a masculine female. She has Mars there. So, and that's with her ascendant, which means she looks more masculine, I think, than she is. But it's in her first house. So she kind of is like a man. Like she sleeps around like a man. She works like a man. She makes money like a man.
Yeah. Good for you, Taylor.
Well, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying when she sings that song, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And then and thing is at least the man, we can call it the quote feminist anthem, but at least it's catchy. The music's
Mhm.
catchy. And then she goes into something.
Mm. We'll say it. Okay, I will say I love that BL's like, not necessarily BL. I'm just saying she really embodies lesbonic energy sometimes. Now, we go into You Need to Calm Down. I deleted that from my brain. I didn't sing it. I didn't.
At
I
least she
sat
only
like
did half
this.
the song, right?
Yes, I'm so glad it wasn't the full song. And it was the worst part of the song, too. She chose the absolute trash, most horrible
Yeah.
part of the song, which is
Yeah.
like, I can't even say it. You just need to say I don't even know how to say it because I cannot hear it. It's so awful.
Mm-hmm.
But it was okay. That one, I feel like even she didn't really want to do it. She just kind of like stuck it in there because she felt
For
like
the
she had
points.
to. Yeah, there was so much virtue signaling. Oh my gosh, did you see it in the movie? There was like so many times where it was virtue signal.
Yeah.
Like in Lover, they really zoomed in on like the one gay couple in
Yeah,
Lover,
which
and
I
it
would
was
not have
like,
minded, except that there was a couple behind them that were doing this really beautiful ballroom dancing. And I would have loved to see that. Like, if they had the gay couple
yeah.
doing the really beautiful ballroom dancing, I would have been like, put the camera on them.
I was
But
like,
they were
we
just
don't
so,
need.
yeah,
It was like,
exactly.
you will see the gay couple, and then it
Forehead to
like blinked.
forehead.
Yeah, then it blinked off, and then it went back to.
And like I said, I would not have minded if it were the beautiful dancing. And like interspersed with that, sure, but they literally cut out the beautiful ballroom dancing in favor of that. And I'm like, you could have at least shared.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I really liked that one gay dancer, the
Hmm.
one that was in Vigilante
Hmm.
Shiitake as well. I loved him. He was amazing.
The
But
one
I
who
did,
did the umbrella dance for Midnight Rain?
I think so, possibly. He had like kind of long curly hair and he's kind of muscular-ish. But
I
he
think so.
did, yeah, loved him. He was one of my favorite dancers. And I will have to say, her dancers were amazing. They were really
Yes.
good.
Yes.
They really did embody the eras, and it was like
Hmm.
amazing to see. So
Yeah.
her dancers were like top tier, and she would had all the diversity points and
Hmm.
health at every size on stage. No, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
she did have big
Which we don't
dancers.
mind. Which we don't mind because at least like they're
No.
good at what they're doing, right?
Yes, and they can
Hmm.
do it and they bring it and it was everything. I have nothing bad to say about the dancers. They were so good. I was
Yeah.
so happy with them. So that was kind of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, totally agreed. I love the background dancers and our backup dancers. I we're gonna skip right over. You need to calm down.
Yeah.
Keep going. There's this weird dance move, except that she does this one. She goes forward. That one, I'm like, what are you doing?
It
Um,
was horrible.
it's
So
not good.
bad.
You
It
need to
was
calm
bad.
down.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't.
Yeah,
I literally was like, ugh. And there was just
yeah,
rainbow. It was like, let's just put rainbow and we'll just like get through the song really, really quick and then we'll move on to like the
yeah.
actual song. And then Lover came on.
The amount of LGBT people I've met or have encountered on the interwebs who hate that song.
It's bad.
It's
It's
bad.
because it's bad.
Yeah. Like,
Welcome to New York. It was so good. I loved it in that. It was perfect. It was
you mean the
exactly.
seeds of allyship?
Hate that she said that. She almost ruined it, but she can't because
Yeah.
it was still everything and it was perfect the way she did it. That's all she needed. It was clear, it was fast, it didn't ruin the song. It
Mhm.
was fine. And she didn't have to write a whole ass song about it. Like it was completely fine. And especially for the time, it was perfect at the time. Like I will just say, but hate the seeds of allyship cringe. It's so awful. But but yeah, that song was not seeds of allyship. It was the rotten fruit of allyship that had fallen 4 years ago in 2019.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Well,
but anyway, so what did you think of Lover? Did you like the pink guitar and all that?
I did like Lover, although every time I see that performance, sorry, I'm chewing a ginger candy, and it's stuck in my teeth. Um, it reminds me of the MTV performance when she first performed it, and she was still so in love, and you can tell in the film she's like going through the motions, and this is like probably the best performance she had the
Yeah.
entire tour was for the camera,
Yeah.
but even then, it's still not as good as that MTV performance in 2019.
Oh yeah, I was looking to see if she could do it, and she was okay. I could tell she was kind of making it about the audience. She
Hmm.
wasn't really making it about her ex, which is really
Hmm.
scarring. But this is the end of the tour. Like it was really rough in the beginning. She could not really sing Lover. It was really scarring
Hmm.
to see.
Mhm.
But yeah, she had gotten to the point where she could do it and it was good. And I sang it because it's a good
Mhm.
song.
It
It's
is,
good.
yeah. It's one of my top 10 for sure.
It's a good one. It's very
Cruel
good.
Summer is one of my top 5 though.
Cruel Summer is really good. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's
Yeah.
just it's so weird. You have 2 amazing songs on an album that's kind of blah.
Kind of a flop album. But
Yeah,
she
but
does
2
that a
amazing
lot.
songs. Mhm.
She always has an amazing song on every album, even if it's floppy. She'll still put out like at least one or two. Like there's still going to be good within it. That's why every album is worth a listen, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Well, I also think, like, I do think she's really good at making albums and like, for example, like I enjoy listening to Midnights, but it's true there's only really like one hit on there,
Hmm.
you know?
That's true.
Yeah. But she's really good at making an album listenable, like listening through a whole album.
Hmm.
Let's see here. In the cut song, The Archer happened after Lover on the tour.
So I will say, I didn't miss The Archer in
Mm.
the movie. I
Even though
felt
you
like it
love
was,
it.
I do love it. I would have
Mhm.
loved it in the tour, but I felt like it was fine that it wasn't in the
Mhm.
movie. It was a good cut. Like it
Yeah.
would have been too long and it just probably wasn't going to work. But
Yeah.
I do love that song. I don't think I cried to any of the other Lover songs. I'm trying to see. I don't think I did. Didn't. I didn't cry to any of them except Miss Americana. But that one was obvious because it's also when she first comes out. So
Yeah.
it's like emotional just because she's coming out. But
Yeah.
other than that,
I also thought just saying for the whole thing, I thought everything was very well directed.
in the movie,
Mhm. Beyond
I think,
the editing choices, but I'm saying editing choices aside, very well directed.
oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because we all know about the scores that is the 1989 direction and the weird camera angles, like,
Yeah, I mean, there were certain times where I wish they would have panned out more because
Mhm.
sometimes they were too up in her face, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But just like flashback, like we want to see the whole thing and then see her.
Yeah.
So there were times where I was frustrated throughout the movie
Yeah.
where I wish they would have done that.
I can see that for sure. Next thing, we're going on to the Fearless era.
The one that I
I
don't stand.
Yeah, but I will say, if you remember I finally got tickets to Taylor Swift's tour video when I went through all the eras and what song I wanted. The one I wanted from Fearless was Fearless, and I actually
She
got
got
it,
it.
and I'm so happy.
It was cute.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was cute. She loves those songs. It was a
Mhm.
pleasure to watch. Like,
Yeah.
and the whole background was really cute. It was cute.
Mhm. Yeah. I just
And
remember on the
I,
tour though, I did do the heart hands and hold it up.
so cheesy. But
I know.
I will say, weirdly enough, I did tear up to You Belong With Me. I did. I
Mhm.
wasn't expecting it. So that one did get me, but I think it's because I have so many memories with that song, like
Mhm.
from back in the day, like my first love, 2015. So again, like this was like a past life progression throughout all these eras. And
Yeah.
so that did awaken that. So it's kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
think You Belong With Me was the first Taylor Swift song that I liked, and I
Mm,
liked it late to the party for one reason. The first version I heard was the pop version, which I hate. I
mm,
hate the pop version, but when I finally heard the country version one day, I was like, "What version is this? This is so much better." And then
mhm,
I started listening to her music because before that I had heard Teardrops on our guitar on my guitar, and I'd only ever heard weird cuts of it, and so I didn't really like. I wasn't into it, so I started to like Taylor Swift's music from Fearless. And I remember when Speak Now came out, and I listened to the album Speak Now, and I had songs that I liked, and I would say, yeah, yeah, I like Taylor Swift. By Speak Now, I would say, I'm a fan of Taylor Swift. And then by Red, I was like, I am a Swiftie.
mhm. Yeah, so I had kind of the same, but it was
Mhm.
just an album later. So
Yeah.
Red was
But
when
you're
I
also
was like,
younger.
yeah, Red was when I was a fan. I'm a fan of Taylor with Red. And then with 1989, it was like, I'm obsessed, absolutely
Hmm.
obsessed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember having a conversation with my friend who's ironically her name was Taylor, and I was like, yeah, I like to listen to like this one country artist, and she was like, oh my god, I hate country because she was from North Carolina and she hated country, and I was like, but it's just Taylor Swift, and she's like, oh, that's fine. She's like, you can listen to Taylor Swift all you want, and we would drive on these road trips for like 4 hours, and I just play Taylor Swift the whole
Hmm. Oh
time.
my
It was
God.
always Red because the 1989 had not come out yet. And I have a
Right.
giant knot in my hair.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's the next song?
Next one is Love Story.
So that one I liked. I
Mhm.
wasn't like super involved with it, but it's a pleasure. She loves that album. I think she loves Fearless. I think that's one of her
Yeah.
favorite albums.
I think 3 songs was enough.
Yeah, I think it was perfect. I don't have
Mhm.
any complaints about the Fearless
Yeah.
section.
It was cute. I liked the part in Go Back to You Belong With Me. I love the interaction with her bassist and her guitarist
Mm.
that she's been with since the Fearless tour.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's cute.
So that was great to see. And then going on to the next era, Evermore.
Okay, so Evermore, I don't know. Like, I love the
I love
album.
it. Mhm.
But on tour, I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is really weird." So, like, when
Mhm.
it does switch, because I think, like, I had it in my head of what it would
Mhm.
be like, but when you're really watching it, it's like, "Whoa, this is a drastic slow in tempo," and
Mhm.
it was like, "Oh gosh, like, I don't know if I like this," kinda thing. Plus, as you know, I have the worst concert luck ever, you guys, so she chose all of the songs I don't really care about, like, there was very rare songs that I loved, like,
Even
that she
tolerating
did.
it?
No, Tolerated is one of the ones I love, but the
Okay.
other ones I was like, like, I don't even remember it. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Hold on. We're ringing the alarm bells. We have to talk about our first satanic song, of course. So Willow came on, super satany, very witchcraft, demonic. So that one I was like, whoa, like it comes out very aggressive in that one.
I loved it. I thought it was so good.
I was like, oh my gosh. But it was weird because like I used to sing Willow about my ex all the time. And it's like, I don't feel that way anymore, because it's
Mhm.
been a minute. So it's like, I don't really feel it. So a lot of the songs, it's like I either didn't feel or they hit me in a way I didn't expect, or like different songs hit me than what I thought would. Like You Belong With Me, for example. I had no idea that that would hit me, but it
Mhm.
did. I thought Willow would, it didn't. It was kinda
Mhm.
just like it came and went, but it was pretty to look at, and it was satanic, so I had to write that down because it definitely was.
Mhm.
But it was just like, you know, it was okay. It was kind of okay. And then which one's after that one?
Now we'll talk about Will. I didn't just talk about it.
Oh.
I loved it. I loved the witchy imagery. I thought it was great. I love the glowy balls. I think it really spoke to my tree worshipping ancestors, my pagan lines.
It
And
was very
I thought it was
beautiful.
mhm, very beautiful.
The set
Um,
was gorgeous.
mhm. And she actually opens with "'Tis the Damn Season,"
Yeah.
but she cut it. Well, she didn't. It was never filmed because the concert they filmed it at was No Bite No Crime. But
Mhm.
to be fair, "'Tis the Damn Season," even though it has a great intro in the tour, as in like it's very beautiful as the trees grow and stuff like that. She's just singing it walking around on stage, versus it's much more cool, like in the film,
Mhm.
to have her come out like that.
Mhm. I didn't miss it. I
Hmm.
didn't miss that one at all. It was fine because I think
Yeah.
Willow is kind of iconic of Evermore, and it was fine.
Hmm.
So it was good. I mean, I have no complaints. It just
Yeah.
didn't hit me personally that much.
I will say though, the 5 songs that she chose are like my 5 favorite songs
Mm.
on the album. So I left out.
Mhm. Yeah, for me, it
Mhm.
was like, I think Willow I used to love and now I don't. So
Mhm.
it's like that's like a I used to, and then I'm kind of over it.
Mhm.
What was the other one she did?
Yeah.
What was
Then she goes
after
to the
Willow?
Marjorie,
Oh,
and
okay. That was
I
okay.
I I love Marjorie. I do. I do. I cried a singular tear at the tour. Came down my
One.
face, which is big for me. And then, and I didn't cry though on opening night when I saw it in the film. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm over it. But then I cried when my mom was there for me. I'm like, that's the connection. It's because it reminds me of my
You
mom.
sigh vamped.
Yeah, yeah. Because like the song is about Taylor's grandmother who passed away when she was
Mhm.
13, and her grandmother was an opera singer, but never got to see the same success that Taylor did, and so that's why Taylor sings about carrying all her dreams
Mhm.
from her grandmother. Like her grandmother left her all her dreams to her, and And I think that reminds my mom, even though my mom's alive and well, it's just like it just reminds me of how much I love my mom, and I
Mhm.
would think that song about her if she were to pass away. Um, what? Why is he like speaking
I don't
satanic
know.
languages at me?
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, I love I and so yeah, I cried. That was the only song I've cried to, but I cried to it twice. So yeah,
Yeah, I didn't I mean, it was fine. I
you
think,
know, yeah.
to be fair, at this point, I kinda had to pee, so it was kinda like if I wasn't loving it, then I was thinking about how I had to pee, so I was kinda thinking about it at that point because it was kind of a low point for me. Because I think for me, like I said, there's a lot I love on Evermore. She
Mhm.
chose none of them. Like, she completely skipped the entire freaking everything I really loved on Evermore. She didn't do. If she would've done Dorothea, probably would've cried. She would've done, Happiness, love that song. She would've done I mean, literally, like, probably
I
any
also
of the
love
other ones.
Dorothea. Hmm.
Yeah, I love Dorothea. If she would've done, I don't know, I mean, I probably wouldn't have cared about, um, Gold Rush that much, but, there's some that I don't care, but there's a lot of them I really love. Like, I love Ivy. If she had done Ivy, I would've been like, "Oh my gosh,"
Oh my
but
god, yeah, yeah. I will say, yeah, I guess
yeah,
I forgot about that. Yeah, Ivy and Dorothea, if those two were added, then I would have my seven favorite songs on
yeah, for
on it. Yeah.
sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, she completely skipped all
Mhm.
mine
Yeah.
except for the last one, but we'll get to
Yeah.
the next one first.
I love Champagne Problems.
Uh-huh.
I'm not one of those people. I'm not saying you are, but there are some people and I've met before who are like, I don't like things that are popular and blah blah
Mm.
blah. And I'm like, I will like something if I like something, and I don't care if Champagne Problems is like the most favorite song on that album. I do love Champagne Problems, and I love the
It's
performance of
a
it.
skip for me, but I will say a lot of people got up to pee when it was on,
Mhm.
so I wasn't the only one that wasn't
Yeah.
feeling it.
Oh wow,
I could
that's
tell
so
when
weird
people
to
would get
me.
up to pee, they didn't like Folklore and they didn't like Evermore that much. Mhm.
Weird. That's weird because those are the two albums that brought her the most new
I
fans.
know, it is weird, but anyways,
Yeah, maybe they've gone multiple times. I mean, it is like two and a
that's
half
true.
weeks after.
That's true.
Um, yeah, so and then we had the epic showstopper tabletop dance, well, kind of
Loved
tolerated.
it.
It was so
It
good.
was everything.
I love the
So
performance
that
art.
one, before my breakup, I didn't really like that song. After my breakup, it was like major.
Mhm.
It turned into like major. Yes, that song did come up. Um, but I loved it. So when she did Tolerate It,
Mhm.
that was one of the ones I cried. And I cried at the bridge because it's just such a good thing. And plus, too, it's really weird because I am like I've changed so much. I'm not as hypolicious, definitely further from the hypo haze. Although I have been going through a weird hormonal storm. I blame eclipse season. Lisa's been going through things too.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do blame it. But in
Yeah.
general, I am less hypohazy. And so when I hear Tolerate It, I've totally said it's like the most perfect hypohaze song. And I've existed in that song within a
Yeah.
relationship before. And it's a hypohaze thing because I told Lisa, I'm like, only a hypohaze person would exist in a relationship like that. Otherwise, they would just be all in or they'd break up with them. And that
Yeah.
song is like a weird, like, I want to please you, but I doubt that you're pleased. But I want to leave, but I'm scared to leave, but I don't want to. Like, it's really, really weird. And even in the
Yeah.
song, she says, like, if it's all in my head, let me know. So it's like she doesn't even trust her own judgment, which is
Mhm.
so hypo. It was just
Yeah.
amazing. But
Yeah.
I could feel it more so of the past because again, this one of my past lives that was very like 21, 22 for me is that time frame. And it was like, oh gosh. And when she got to the chorus and stuff, it's like, I always told Lisa, I'm like, Taylor pretends to be a four sometimes. I actually am a four. I did pull out the knife. Like I did it. I did take a shot and see what
Dagger
would
in me
happen.
and remove
Yes, I
it.
did. And I did break free and leave us in ruins. And it's horrifying, but it had to
Did
be
you gain
done.
the weight of us and lose it?
I may have gained the weight of him, then lose it a little bit as well because I lost 50 pounds since the
Oh
breakup.
my gosh.
So I really did. So
You'll
that
lose its
song is
entire
kind of,
weight too by the time you're fully done losing weight.
oh my God. I mean, like I said, I have processed the breakup. I've forgiven, love, light, whatever. Like I have, and I realized that too because when I was watching the concert, there were certain songs I would sing about the breakup, and they weren't
Mhm.
hitting as much. And I think it's because I have forgiven the past and I'm okay. But it's still one thing to relive it and to feel it again. And I feel like seeing her do it and kind of have that catharsis, it was very powerful. And that bridge is amazing. That's one of her best bridges. It's so good and
One of her
tolerated.
best
So
songs.
yeah, tolerate it. It made the whole Evermore worth it. I was like, period. That was amazing. Facts. And then it was over. And I was like, whoa. Very strong closer. I think it was good as a closer for sure.
Yeah,
With
definitely. I
Evermore.
agreed. And it was just like I love the backup dancer who did the acting as
Mhm.
well. He looked the part. It was just very well done. I think because Taylor, let's be honest, is not the best actress. We love her for everything else, but she's not the best actress.
Yeah.
But he was a very good actor,
Yeah.
and he sold it for us.
Yeah, I think it killed Taylor to act feminine in the beginning. Like she acted so extra about it. And I was like,
Mhm.
Taylor, you're so gay. Like that was slight lesbian points in that moment. I was like, girl, like just set the damn table, like just act like you said. Like she couldn't do it even for a second. She's like, yeah. It was so bad. I'm like, girl, lower yourself to the servant position for 1 second. You probably had a maid in your house growing up, but anyway, it killed
She
her.
had, what was it? Kitchen table bills, living room dancing. As she scolded Jake Gyllenhaal over his $1 million couch and his organic shoes.
Pretty much. But anyways. Oh my God, that's
After
funny.
that, we move on to, which in my opinion was the best done, most show-stopping era in the Eras tour.
Which one?
Reputation.
Oh,
Yeah, because like it's just the most fun. It's
I
the most
know.
like dramatic and like over the top, and which is what makes it so much fun. And when it started, like my mom was sitting like this all forevermore, at the concert because she was like she's in her 60s. She's
Yeah.
allowed to sit during the concert, right? And even though she likes Evermore, she doesn't hate it. She was just it's the song that she wanted to sit down to. But when Reputation came on, she was like.
Yeah,
She's got
totally.
onto her feet. She was like, "I'm ready for the snakes."
Oh my God. So for Reputation, I will just get it out of the way in the beginning. There was only 2 songs. Well, okay. Ready for It had very slight satanic energy, just tiny, tiny. It was just a vibe. There was no like real, except for the snake. I mean, the snake is kind of obvious, right? But I think it's too obvious, like where it's like I don't think it's actually trying to hide anything because it's
I
so
didn't
blatant.
because we know that like Kim Kardashian called her a snake because it's been the year of the
Yeah.
snake, and so she's just embracing that part of her
I'm
identity.
just again, it's one of those occultic things she stumbled into once again, but it's there. But look what you made me do. She had it. I was like, she's possessed by a demon during the
And it
song.
was amazing. It was such a good performance. But let's go back to the beginning. So it starts with
Yes.
the intro, and you have to understand the intro for Reputation at the tour was much longer. It was like a whole
Yeah, of
30
course.
seconds intro of the snake, and where they were showing the stuff. But obviously they shortened it because they don't have to like get her into the jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Like because they just edit that part out. And I love that she did the entire "Are You Ready for It?" And
I
the thing
love
is
it
weird.
too.
It was so much. I thought "Are You Ready for It" was so much better on this tour than it was as the opener of of her other tour.
I think it's because she was more confident, for
Yeah,
sure. She was very
definitely
confident. I
because
don't think
like
she was in with Reputation time. She was still kind of wounded bird
yeah.
during that time.
But here's like she embraced it. She's like, "Are you
Hmm.
ready for it?" Versus like the other one was like, you can tell she's like going through the motions, trying to get to the energy, and it worked here because she'd already been hyped up by the previous 3 eras. You know?
Yes, it was good. And that song is one of the songs I absolutely, oh my God, Wearing Blood, Ritual Red. No, this is Red Album Red.
I'm reading.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and as you can see, I'm wearing my Reputation sweatshirt, which I have
Yes.
not worn in a several years now. It got put into a box while I was moving around the country, and so I'm so happy to have it because she had such great merch during the rap era.
Oh my gosh.
I wish I could have bought it all, but I was poor back then.
I will just say, Ready for It is one of my absolute. I told you, I think it's my third. I think it's my top three. Like, I love it that much. It's really extra. I think it's because, and I will say, it's going to get really gay in astrology. It is one of the most Scorpio songs that has ever been written in all time. She's not
Yeah.
even a Scorpio, but I could feel the
Scorpio
Scorpio energy.
rising.
Some of the songs she has, the Scorpio is very strong, and Ready for It, it's so there. And I think that's probably why your mom loves it, because your mom has that Scorpio moon and it triggers the moon and it is
It
just on
does.
fire.
And
And
my
Ready
mom has a
for It,
Cancer rising, and Taylor is a Cancer moon.
oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. I mean, it was so like, because I really could feel the parts of me that were Scorpio with her, because like Ready for It comes on, it's like, ding, like you can just
Mhm.
feel it. You can feel the energy. And obviously, it's just a Scorpionic. Look What You Made Me Do is a super Scorpio song. I love it. But that's why I realized I love Reputation. I really do. It's
It
definitely one of my favorite. But
people
it's not
scorned
like,
that album because they did
yeah.
not like her at that time and
Hmm.
completely dismissed. I'm hoping with the when the re-record comes out, people re-listen to it, whether or not we like the re-recordings, that they at least listen to the songs and are like, you know,
Hmm.
actually these were all really good.
Yeah, because I agree with your mom. Like, there's certain albums of hers that are so much better in concert than
Mhm.
other ones. Like, and I think she had a harder time translating like Evermore and Folklore to
Mhm.
concert because it's a totally
Yeah.
different vibe. And I think she needs to work on it. I mean, that's like a point of criticism for her. She
Mhm.
has to work on that. But when she goes to the pop stuff, it's fire. And like Reputation, 1999, Red, which we'll get to that, super concert friendly, like
Yeah.
extremely exciting, amazing, really good. And those were also her albums where she accelerated in fame because they were so well done for tour. They were
Yeah.
so good for tour.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I loved Ready for It. I mean, Ready for It, like I told you, it's my third favorite song by her, I think. It's in top three. I love that song. It's still my ringtone. I have had it as my ringtone since 2017. I never changed it.
I love that. Yeah. Well, so after Are You Ready for It, which was great, she moved into Delicate. And I did like the stage for Delicate. You could tell she slowed it down because
Mhm.
she starts Reputation with a big dance number and she ends Reputation with a big dance number. So she goes into Delicate, which is lots of just like a little bit jumping on the cracks and then showing how things are
Mhm.
breaking. And
Yeah, I will say Delicate is not one of my favorite songs on the album. Of course, because I have horrible concert luck. So she will choose the ones that at least it wasn't a This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. That would have been horrifying. I should have played
yeah.
that. I've been like, oh my God, because I really don't like that song. I don't dislike Delicate, but it's just a meh. It's like a mid
Mhm.
one for me. So for me, I was like, okay, I was kind of like watching it, but I will say I loved Don't Blame Me Live. And you're right. Lisa's told me it's a concert song. It's one to see live. It is so amazing. I'm so
Yeah.
glad she did it again
Me too.
because and the set was gorgeous. I loved all the fire, the flames, and the candles. It
Mhm.
was just so amazing. I
Yeah.
loved it. It was so good.
And then, oh my god, I just got chills thinking about it actually. The
It's
transition
that good.
from
Yeah.
"Don't Blame Me" into "Look What You Made Me Do." Don't blame me for what you made me
Yes.
do. Like, and then the electric guitar comes on. The guitars
Mhm.
gets raised on the
So good.
platform from beneath the stage, and then she's like doing all these like dramatic poses,
It's
and
amazing.
it's so good. And then I love the part where she walks to the back of the stage and she's like doing that walk to the
Oh, yeah.
tempo, like it's like the power walk. And it's just like so good. She has that power walk down. And then when she's confronting all the other tailors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that one, it was definitely, like I said, it's kind of Illuminati. It's a little bit one of those, but it's because in Illuminati and stuff, they talk a lot about alters and like different personalities, which
Mhm.
she's totally uplifting that what is it, that trope of like
Yeah.
Illuminati stuff in that song. But I love it. I love all the eras. The dancers were amazing.
Mhm.
And I love how the one dancer was like, "Taylor, no," she's like, "Taylor, no." Like, I think the Speak Now one. She's like, "You didn't let
Taylor,
me
no.
out."
Yeah, I feel like the Speak Now, Fearless Taylor, that's the ones that she really killed. Look what you
Yeah.
made me do. Because and I also like that she did it this one because it's on the original Reputation tour, she had Tiffany Haddish come on and do Taylor She's
Mhm.
Dead because it became kind of a meme. And so I could
Yeah,
see why she had someone else do it instead of her because it was almost like she wasn't ready to do it herself,
yeah.
but she was ready now to pull
Mhm.
off because she's dead. Like
Yeah, which I
and
remember
she
when that came out, that, like, shocked everybody. It was really scarring,
yeah.
and even when I
So
heard it, I was like, "What the fuck?" You
yeah, I was
know?
thinking about this earlier today. I was thinking about this earlier today about where I was when I first listened to the I was on YouTube and so I was listening to the lyric music video that came out
Me too.
and my friend hated it. She's like, I'm not buying the album. I hate it. I hate it. And I was like, I don't know what to think of it. It's so weird. And but I couldn't get it out of my head all week. I think I listened to it like 3 times that week, just like thinking about it. And like, this is like, I didn't make my mind up yet. And then the music video came out and I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. I love this song.
I honestly loved it immediately, but I think it
Yeah.
was just a Scorpio within it just
Yeah, you have the personality type to love it, and I
yeah.
had to I had to understand it to love it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah.
It does. Well, because for me, it's like a feeling. Like, I
Yeah.
felt it, and so and I love that bridge. It's one of my favorite bridges of her. That's definitely one of my top songs because I
Yeah.
love that. "I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me." So Scorpio. She
Yes, I
really
love that song.
she channels it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, and then when she's, "'Cause she's dead, no," and then when she does the final chorus, and she does the back bend where she's like she completely hits the ground like, she's on her knees, and she completely goes
Oh,
all the
wow.
way back and, like she's possessed and like, her head hits
Mhm.
the stage with her knees bended, and it was just like, that part, the way they shot it was fantastic. Like, I got chills
Mhm.
again thinking about it 'cause it was so good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
good. And then we got after that, we got Speak Now Era Enchanted. I'm happy she did that song. It
Oh,
is one of
yeah.
the best songs on that album. So if she had to do one
It
song. I'm glad she
is.
did that one.
It is. I wish that there could have been more. Like, I wish she
Mhm.
could have done Mean. That's the only thing I wish. Like, Mean
Yeah,
is just so iconic. I
it
think
is.
she should have done a medley. I think I would have appreciated Enchanted and then a medley of, like, all the songs, like, for, like, a
Yeah.
minute or something. It didn't need to be super long, but I wish she would have worked more with medleys because that would have been nice.
Hmm. Interesting. So, what Celtic says here: philosophy people are creating multiple personas of themselves and wonder who the true persona is,
Mhm.
or these parts of the true persona.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I I think that's Taylor. I do think
Yeah.
there's a part of her that's like that, for sure.
Yeah. I don't understand that. I think that, okay, it's gonna go more astrology. I think part of the reason why it's hard for me to understand that just because my sun sign and my rising sign are the same,
Mm,
you know? So it's like my outside and my inside are like pretty much
that's
the
true.
same. And then if you go even further into my emotional self, it's just super more of me. It's just drier and colder and
Yeah,
less
it's very
emotional.
air. Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
really
true.
change that much.
Well, your 3 parts air. Your big
Yeah.
3 are air, which makes you
Yeah.
super airy,
Yeah.
whereas mine is, Scorpio, Leo, Leo, which is like a
Mhm.
fiery water, which is
Mhm.
different, and the Scorpio is very strong. Scorpio, I think, is just a very dominant part of your personality. If you have it, you are like a
Mhm.
part Scorpio. It's like a one drop thing
Yeah,
because
I
it
feel like if you
dominates.
have Scorpio in one of your big 3 like that, or you have, like, a Scorpio stellium or, like, very, very, like,
Mhm.
positive planets in Scorpio, I feel like part of your journey is learning how to set that Scorpio aside and embrace the other parts of your chart because it is so dominant.
I think part of it too is well, for rising, it's a very specific thing. It has to do with
Mhm.
dying and coming back as something
Mhm.
else. So,
Yeah.
which Taylor does it. I mean, you've seen it. She's done it on a global
Yeah.
scale multiple times. Even she needs to kind of
She
stop now. I
comes
think
back stronger than a 90s trend.
she's done it a little too much. I think she's losing herself now. But I've done it a couple times, and sometimes you have to. It's a
Mhm.
part of the journey. But yeah, I
Mhm.
do. I appreciate that about her because I
Yeah.
relate to it. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
but Scorpio is sending aside. I mean, even including that, I feel like because it is dominant, you have it's like, for example, with Taylor, she always loses that Sagittarius part of herself, which is
Mhm,
supposed to be strong, you know?
mhm.
And she just loses it a lot where it's supposed to be her inner true self.
I think with
Just gets pulled
her,
away from it.
she's too Capricorny.
Mhm.
Like, she has a lot in Capricorn. She's a huge stellium, and I think she favors it, and she tries to be a Capricorn, because to me, when she's being all virtue signaling and all that, it's very Capricorn coded the way she writes it. It makes me kind of cringe a little bit. No
Yeah.
offense to any Capricorns, but it's just not. It's
I
so
also
rigid and ugh.
I think it also I think people who have that though, it's probably I would see it most probably in first, second, or 10th house if they were acting like that with that
Oh, with the
stellium.
Capricorn.
Because I have a Capricorn stellium in my eighth, and but I feel like because eighth is
It's
kind of like
hidden.
one of the obscured houses. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a hidden energy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have Capricorn in me too, but it's in my third, which it
Hmm.
can come out, but it's not. I don't know. I don't kill the Leo. I don't kill the Scorpio. She does. Like, she will kill everything to be a Capricorn. And it's like, girls, just stop. It drives me insane.
Yeah.
But anyways, so what's I
He's
think I
saying he
like
likes
this
look what you made do instantly.
about it, and seeing how seeing how also listening to people doing instant covers. Yeah. I mean, I love this song. I do. It's a very scorpionic song and I
Yeah.
love it. That's all I
I
can
do
say.
love it. Yeah. And my mom loved it. My mom was just like,
It's good.
it spoke
Very
to
good.
her. But yeah, so she kept all of rap, and there was 4 songs, and then we had Enchanted, and she cut Long Live, which was fine. It was an add-in anyways, and I think she
Mhm.
just wanted the pure performance of the
That was
chorus.
okay.
Yeah, and also played during the credits anyway, so whatever.
Yeah.
And then we moved to the Red Era. So in the tour, the Red Era intro is like a minute long. And it's a woman
Oh,
doing like
nice.
like weird
Magic
performance art with
tricks.
the box, and they made it really short for the film.
Yeah. Yes, I will say 22 was one of the ones I cried to. And I think it's because
So good.
I love the Red era,
Yeah.
and it was very nostalgic. Like, it took me back to when I saw Red, because I actually went to Red. I saw it because I'm bougie. I went to the Staples Center.
I'm so jealous. I wish I could have gone.
I went to the Red
I was
tour.
living in Japan in a
Aw.
place where I couldn't go. So
I went to the Staples Center. I saw it. I filmed a vlog and everything, but I think I deleted it long ago, but I wish I could find it, even though
yeah,
I went with somebody that I became enemies with. That's probably why I deleted it.
yeah,
Very Scorpio rising in me. But it was very like, that's another thing too. I relate to Taylor's Bridges Burned. Oh my God. That's a Scorpio rising thing too.
yeah,
But anyway, I loved Red because it felt like my era. Like, it
yeah.
was instant nostalgia.
Me
Instant.
too. Same.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it so much because I said that was the album that made me a Swiftie, and the 22 was one of the songs I really, really wanted on the tour, and
Mhm.
All Too Well. I really wanted All Too Well on the tour. I was so happy to get 22 when she opens with it because it's so iconic.
Yeah.
Like as you're talking about, I was also born in 1989. To be fair, the album
Mhm.
came out when I was 23, but I at that time still remembered what it was like to be 22, and it took me back to that age like very easily.
Yeah, it was amazing, and it was like for me, that was a time in my life that was relatively stable, so it was kinda like a nostalgia of, like, a stable time, because
Yeah.
everything got really wild after that. Like, it went crazy. I had my Scorpio rising traumatic early adulthood time right after that, because it's
Yeah.
very rough, but that was right before, and, it was very nice to hear. So, like, 22 was great. What was the next one?
The next one was We Are Never Ever Getting Back
Oh my
Together.
God, I love that song. That's the song that
Yeah.
made me like her. So I was so happy she did that, because I felt like
Mhm.
a lot of times I feel kind of like she would sleep on it a little bit. Not really, but like, because she did play it in 1989 tour, which I love it. Love her
Mhm.
lesbo rock version. I love it. It's everything.
Yeah.
But she was just, it was good. Like, I'm so glad she did
Yeah.
it. It took me back. Like, it's super nostalgia. So for me, like, Red was super nostalgia, just
Yeah,
all
I like how
around.
she had the backup dancer say like Ever.
Oh yeah, it was so
Yeah,
good.
it's cute. Yeah. And yeah, so I don't know really much to say about it because it's very like it was just well done and
Yeah.
like yeah.
It was the assignment. It fulfilled it.
Yeah. And then she did like half of I Knew You Were Trouble. Or did she the whole thing? I don't know. That one's the
I think
kind
it
of
was
forgettable
half.
one to me.
It was half.
Yeah. But it
It
was
was
still kind of
good.
forgettable.
I liked
Not that I
it.
don't like the song, it's just it was, it's not it's a hit from Red, but is it one of the best songs on Red? Mm-mm.
No, it's not.
there's so many other Red songs that I would be like treacherous. Or I was so lucky during my concert when we got Officer Professor Prize song, I Almost Do.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
good.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. So I will say I love the Red Era. I love the whole thing. It was
Yeah.
one of my favorite times of the show.
Yeah. And then we get I when I saw her on Rep, there was only one song at that time that I so wish that she had done, which was All Too Well, and she did not play it at my um at at my my show, but she played it for the film. And to get the 10-minute version was just like praise the Lord kind of thing because I was so happy. I sang every single lyric to that 10-minute
Um,
song. I love that song.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay, you're saying
I'm
yeah like that, but All Too Well is the song that made me a Swiftie.
yeah, no, I totally get it for those of you
Yeah.
guys that love the 10-minute. I like the OG. I like the other one.
Oh yeah, the OG is great. I'm just saying like the OG is what made me a Swiftie, but like to get the 10
Mhm.
minute version, it's so much fun because it brings the song full circle, I think. I consider them one and the same at this point.
Okay, I can understand.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm a 4-minute version stan. I like that one.
Which is fine.
But
Which is fine. You can have it. Like
yeah,
it's like
she
I just saying like I don't if I
yeah, I
say All
understand
Too
why she
Well
did
is
it.
my top three favorite Taylor Swift song, I'm not distinguishing the two.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the
You like
concept of All Too
either.
Well.
You like
Yeah.
both of them, all
Mhm.
everything. I get it.
Everything, everywhere,
I
all of
love
them.
the bridge. So the bridge did get me to tear up a little bit. So that
Yeah.
one did get me just a little bit, just a tiny bit, because she kept breaking it up with the new parts, which I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Like I watched it, you know. I
I
like
just
the
love how
set and
she
everything.
calls Jake Gyllenhaal out for having a F the patriarchy keychain. And like people are like like it's funny because she does this all the time with like the dual meaning of something because dumb Swifties hear it and they're like, yeah, F the patriarchy. And then but if you actually listen to the lyrics, she's mocking him for having that keychain and then turning around and being an asshole to women.
Mhm.
Sorry, cursing on the channel.
It's okay. I don't care. Totally. No, I understand that. And
Hmm.
so and she loved it and it was a pleasure. It was one of those things where it's a pleasure to watch. It was kind of
Yeah.
one of those things.
I
So
loved it. I loved so much. And the jacket she was wearing, the red, long, sparkly
it
jacket.
was pretty.
I love it.
I like the
Um,
set.
yeah. So after that, she, she fades into the floor and she looks back at the audience with her guitar on her back, and that is the end of Red Era Taylor. And then she moves into the folklore era, and the folklore sorry, the folklore house comes out, and she sings the one. It could have been Invisible
Skip.
String, if not for freaking Joe Allen.
Yeah, so this is where I'm upset about folklore a little bit. So folklore, you'd have to like really try to do songs I don't like. She did it. Every single one I didn't like, she did.
Aww.
I mean, if she would have done Epiphany, that would have been really horrible, but the one is
Or
like a step
Ghosts.
above. It's a step above Epiphany. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it's such a blah. It could have been cut. I really wish that she would have cut it and then put another song elsewhere. It
I
was
just don't
just
understand
boring.
why she didn't replace that one with Cardigan and then do Cardigan
Right.
on the house. And then you could have just added a new song at the end instead that come after. Because like she cut Cardigan's the last song she does on tour, and she cut that one from the film because My Tears Ricochet is a great
Yeah.
transition to the next era. And I totally get that why it needed to be cut. But she could have when she made that change on tour,
Mhm.
she made it like on like the seventh stop, right? Or something like that. Or
Mhm.
like the seventh show, she made the change from Invisible String to the one. She could have switched Cardigan on the house and sang Cardigan on the house, and that would have been really, really beautiful. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
done like I don't know, like what would do well after My Tears Ricochet?
I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of them were good that she did. She could
Mhm.
have I would have you know me, I would have loved a Mad Woman. I would have loved Mad Woman. That would have just
Mhm.
been everything to
Then
me, but of
that one
course
would have worked. That one would have been a
mhm.
really good transition after My Tears
And
Ricochet.
even
Like,
if it was just a half, it doesn't have to be
yeah,
the full thing, like, just a chorus and a bridge. Oh, that would have been perfect. Like, I don't
yeah,
because I agree, like, I get it, it's a lot of songs, but she needed to I think she needed to work more with half songs and, like,
yeah.
shortened versions. because just getting that flavor of it is all you need. I didn't need like a whole Mad Woman, but if she would have done chorus, then verse, then fade to black, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Because it could have flowed, but
Especially after
yeah.
Tears Ricochet. You know, she like got to the end and she said, like, nothing like a mad woman. And then like what a shame she went mad and then it like left the stage. Just even like that one line would have been
Or
like
she could have even just could have flown into from my Chizurka Crusade to I'm taking my time,
yeah.
and then go to the chorus and then fade to black. That would have been
Right.
perfect.
Yeah, that'd been so good. But yeah,
And
so she
she
starts off with the one, and then she moves into Betty. And I know you hate Betty. I like Betty. But Betty's
Betty
not the
was
same if you don't
lesbian.
do all three parts of the love triangle.
It's not. And if you're gonna cut out one of the parts, you should cut out Betty. The other two are better.
Yeah,
And she's the girl, supposedly,
yeah.
even though that still is a lesbo moment in the concert. Total lesbo. Like, and I remember you said that you're like, it kind of is lesbian that she wrote that song in the first place. I do feel like it was at the show too. So, and again, I've never said Taylor's les. I don't believe that. I think she's bi. That's the difference. So everybody gets on my case, like, da, da, da. No, I believe she was in love with Joe. I
So
just
you are not a
also believe
gayler, you are a biler.
I'm a biler. And she prefers men, and that's fine. Or she wants to be with a man for her image or whatever. That's fine. If she's bi, she's probably like middle of the road. Like she could go either way. She's going to choose a man because maybe she wants a family. I don't know, whatever. She has her business. But although I believe she was in love with Joe Alwyn, I think she was also in love with Carly. I will say that forever. And I'm a Carly Taylor. I think they had a thing going on. I'm a believer. But regardless, Betty, she tapped into that inner lesbonic side. And she did a pretty good job. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was like, she really seems like she's in love with Betty. So.
Yeah. And then after that was the last Great American Dynasty.
The last Great American Lesbian. That's my version. And of course, when I was singing it, because as you guys know, I love to lesbianify a lot of her lyrics, just because to me, a Taylor Swift song is great with just like a random lyric change that totally changes the meaning of the song. So I would always say the last Great American Lesbian. I couldn't help it. So when I'm singing it in the show, it's there goes the last Great American Lesbian, and then at the end. And I don't know why, but when I sing it, I like imagine myself as a lesbian. Like at the end, she's like, I had a marvelous time. Like I think of myself as a lesbian ruining everything at the end. So that one kind of worked. But I loved the set and the dancing and all that. Oh, I also want to say too, she could have done 7 on the roof. She could have done so many different things on the roof. I'm not over the one. It shouldn't have been a thing. You should have just burned Joe Alwyn off of Folklore. Just screw him. We're not interested. We're interested in the other ones. Period. So that's all I had to say. And I agree. Cardigan on the rooftop, I would have cried. It would have been beautiful.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing. It's a beautiful fucking song. But anyway.
Agreed. Well, after that was August, which I loved.
It was so good.
The Run.
I agree with you. Me and Lisa have talked about how like Taylor at her best is when she's embracing her Sagittarius energy. And Folklore 1989 and Fearless are like her most Sag albums. But on Folklore, the most Sag song is August.
Yeah.
And she is so in her energy and it feels so genuine, which I know is kind of bad because it's like a cheater girl, but sorry, Taylor, but she really embodies that energy really well. But I will say too, like, there's not as much satanic energy in the show as there is like, just like a lot of like lovesick stuff. It's a lot of lovesick. Like she is one lovesick girl. I mean, oh my God, but August was like total peak lovesick energy. It was beautiful. Loved it. Loved the background. So gorgeous. We love the run. It was good. I actually didn't cry. I thought I might cry. I think I would have cried if it would have been like a few months ago. I probably would have, but I don't feel that way anymore. So I think it would have. I didn't cry to that one. I was like, okay, whatevs.
Yeah. The transition of August though into Illicit Affairs.
Love.
So
good. She does need to do a rock album, I think, because I think her voice, she can carry it now.
Between the way that she did that and and the Look What You Made Me Do with the electric
Mhm.
guitar.
I know. I think
Amazing.
she could do it because I feel like her voice is there now where she could
Mhm.
do a rock album so well. But
Mhm.
love that little bridge of Illicit Affairs. Amazing. No complaints.
Mhm. And then
And then what
straight
was
into um My Tears Ricochet, and I see why she chose the white dress for the show
mhm,
because it looks so good against the black outfits of the backup
mhm.
dancers.
It does. And so My Tears Ricochet, that was a peak moment of the entire tour. It is truly amazing. Like, and that song, like even just hearing the "Whoo," like immediately I started crying. It was like
Yeah.
definite crying. And I think that song, whew, when we talk about my breakup, I think my breakup was a My Tears Ricochet breakup. It was one of those. It hit very deep. And listening to it, I was like, ooh, between that one and Tolerated, I was like, oh my gosh. And it was like a 1-2 punch. But yeah, I cried a lot for My Tears Ricochet because it was just so well done. And the lyrics are so good in that song. It is amazing.
Yeah, she does love the bake, Celtic.
Yeah, she does.
Mhm.
So yeah, that song and that moment in the show is like one of the top
Yeah.
moments of the entire tour for me. It
And I
was
can
that
see why
good.
she cut Cardigan after that because transition from that
Mhm,
into to 1989 is really good.
mhm.
Going Cardigan 99, it kind of ruins the
The
vibe, you
flow.
know? But I understand why she does it in the tour because she's like doing those songs like it's like her slow like rest songs and then she gets right into 1989 and she has to like up the energy, you know?
Mhm.
But it doesn't work film wise.
Yeah, I think your idea to have her sing it, uh, oh my gosh, love the feel, don't
Who is this?
love I'm not sure, but, uh, glad you love me, I guess. Hopefully we'll get to know each other a bit more on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, My Tears Ricochet, totally cried. I heard people singing that one. That was one that people love.
Yeah.
That's a really good song, though. It's one of her best.
I I love that
Um,
song from the first moment I heard it,
mhm.
and I love the ignore my username. Who are you?
Oh my
You bot.
gosh.
um yeah, the yeah, that song is like we know it's about Scott Borchetta, her former
Yeah,
label exec.
so deep.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really good because even in astrology, I love how we're talking so much about astrology, but even in astrology, business partnerships and marriages are in the same house. So for
Yeah.
her to write a divorce song based on a business partnership ending, it was so well thought out, like
Yeah.
beautifully done. And it gives me chills talking about it, how good it was. It was such a good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I agree with you. My biggest thing is I wasn't sure of what should have replaced the one, but when you said Cardigan, I'm like, she should have just, even just for LA, she should have done it for the film. Just do it for the film, girl.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot more people are going to see the film.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Like just replace it on the house and start singing Cardigan. It would be different if
Mhm.
she had kept Invisible String. Then I
Oh
would have been
yeah,
less
that
sad
one
of
is
her cutting
amazing.
Cardigan
Yeah,
because at least Invisible String is like it's like the song.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's one of her
keeping the
best.
one over Cardigan?
Taylor's Rising is Scorpio, so we know that. It's
Yeah.
confirmed. She's the
Mhm.
same as me. That's why I
Yeah.
love her. I'm
She
just
is and
kidding.
her chart makes so much sense because she's a Scorpio rising Cancer moon, and then,
Sad.
she has a 2nd house stellium in Capricorn.
Yeah. So she displays her astrology very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then what's after I guess we can go
After
into the next
that, we get into the
era.
1989
Okay.
era, and it starts with Style, and my gosh, I love the intro to 1989 where the dancers come up, like, posing.
It's amazing.
I
So
know.
the thing is, I am a 1989 stan
Yeah.
forever. Like, I
More
think
than.
it will probably always be my favorite. It still is my favorite. When she came out with that and then the outfits, the aesthetic, it was so nostalgia. And unlike in her re-record, which was horrible for the record, she brought the fire to every
Yeah.
single song. When it's because she's on stage. She needs people to feed her fire. And when she was there, that Sagittarius was all there, and it was
Yeah.
amazing. And I was so happy with it. Just so incredibly happy. I loved it.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, and it was so good with style. Like I love and the same backup dancer from Tolerate It came back to do the catwalk with her on style, and that was great. And where she says like take me home, she did that right in front of me at the concert.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, and I was just
Yeah.
like I started singing the second verse and then she went take me home. And I was like, okay.
No, it
Yeah.
was so good. And the thing is, like, I just love 1989 and the whole like aesthetic of it. I loved everything about it. Like, still to this day, like, it was
Yeah.
magical. Like, and I get it. It came from a lot of pain, and I understand that now. But
Mhm.
she took that pain and she made one of the most, I mean, she made a castle out of all the bricks they threw at her. Like, she did. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was such a
That's the
gorgeous album.
And that's the only
Yeah.
song I regret not being on that set. I mean, I
Yeah.
know you said it needed Wildest Dreams. I'm like, no, it needs New Romantics.
I don't think it needs all of Wildest Dreams. All I needed, again, was probably a bridge and a chorus and just
Yeah.
show the house burning. I didn't like how in the film it just showed the burned down house.
Yeah.
I
That's actually
wanted
something I
them
know what
to
I
show it
made is
burning.
that in the tour, it's like a big moment and it's really drawn out and it's a music crescendo where you watch the house burning down. Because it starts burning. It's weird because you get like these sparks flying and then it starts burning and then I think that happens I think
And I
it
think it's the
happens.
Wildest Dreams bridge where it burns. That's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah, because it burns down during Bad Blood, but I mean, it
Yeah.
has like, but it's there's like a multiple
It
burning thing
starts
that
burning
happens.
because she in the
Yeah,
Wildest Dreams she says, "You see me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night, burning it down." And so I think it
yeah,
started burning. And I wish that she would have just done the bridge in
hmm
just one chorus. I don't need a whole song. That's what I think she didn't necessarily get. Is like,
hmm
it's even for the film, even if she did it longer than that in the
hmm
show, it just needed that little tiny bit of a Wildest Dreams because it felt weird that it wasn't there.
yeah,
And I would have loved a New Romantics, obviously, but I could tell why that wouldn't happen. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, it wasn't that popular, but Wildest Dreams was a single, and I
It's
think it
weird she
needed to be
says that
represented.
because it's like notoriously rated as one of her best songs. Her fans say it's one of her best
She
songs.
dropped it too late. That's
Yeah,
why. It was too
it
late.
and it should have been on the original album and not a bonus track.
Yes. Yeah, but we'll
Yeah.
debate that forever with
Because
her.
that was part of the problem too, is because you could only get access to it if it was on you bought the
Mhm.
Target album. And so, and it wasn't on streaming. So
Yeah.
that was
So
also part
she
of the
shot it in
problem.
the foot. That was
Yeah.
kinda her thing. She kinda sabotaged it.
Yeah.
I agree completely because it was one of the peak songs she's ever written. I think it's my
Yeah.
number 1. Honestly, that's
Yeah.
my number 1 song.
If I'm ranking all of her
Mhm,
songs, it's really hard for me. I change my number 1 all the time, but my top
mhm,
3 are Always and Forever, New Romantics, Holy Ground, All Too Well, although Cruel Summer is sneaking in there, like
mhm.
yeah.
I'm not sure of my top 5, but if I just think of what comes to head, I can't tell the order, but I think
Yeah.
New Romantics is my number 1,
Yeah.
probably. I think the other ones that are top, Ready for It, which I know is really weird, but absolutely obsessed. I
Mhm.
love Mad Woman. I know that's a super toxic song, but it is one of my favorite songs ever written in all of mankind. And when you told me it was about Scooter, I was like, really? She wrote
Yeah.
Scooter? Like I had no, I don't know why, but I totally believed her like, I wrote all these about fake people. I completely believed it. Lisa never believed it. Lisa never believed it. Lisa was like, oh, this is about Scott, or this is about Scooter, or this is about her
Well,
ex.
they are. I'm not saying her relationship didn't fuel those feelings, but but those are the ones we do know. Yeah.
No, because
'Cause
you're right. Like the
yeah.
only no, I agree with you. Like
Mhm.
in folklore,
Yeah.
the only fake songs are the love triangle songs. Every
Mhm.
other one is her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even when she
Anyways,
tries to say "This Is Me Trying" is about her imagining an alcoholic, and I'm like,
no, that was her lover era flop, which
yeah,
totally makes sense. And then the betrayal of the guy that worked with her, all that stuff. Good.
yeah.
Anyways.
Celtic, the one that's about Taylor Lautner is from Speak Now, and it's called Back to December, and it's notorious or infamous, I guess, for being the song where she actually apologizes and
Yes,
says
the
that she
one.
messed up. And that's why people like Taylor Lautner, because they know that he did not break her heart,
Yeah.
she broke his heart, and she owns it. And then there's a lot of theories that Midnight Rain from the Midnight's album is about Taylor Lautner, her looking back on that relationship, specifically because she says the line jumping off things into the
Mhm.
ocean, which he does in the
New
New Moon
Moon.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, I'm just gonna say my favorite Taylor ones. I'm sorry, this is just
Yeah,
massively
go ahead.
important. So I'm just kidding. New Romantics, Blank Space, Wildest Dreams, Maroon, um, Mad Woman. Oh gosh, I think I weirdly there's got to be something on Evermore. Probably like Ivy or Dorothea is up there. We're getting more in the top 10, but a lot of those.
Mhm.
But Maroon is, oh my gosh, that has to be like my number two, which is crazy because I talk
Yeah.
so much trash about about Midnights, and Miss Americana is one of them too.
Mhm.
I know you don't
Yeah.
like that song, but I do. I don't know.
I don't mind it. It's just not one of my favorites.
I
But
totally get that, but
if I had
yeah,
to list more than just three, I would say, and this is not in any particular order because I'd
yeah.
mess it up, but New Romantics, Holy Ground, All Too Well, Cruel Summer. I gotta go through the albums real quick. Blank Space. Let's see here. I'm skipping Reputation for now.
Look what
Going
you made
to
me look what you made me do is one of mine
It's
too.
really good, but I don't know if it's my top 10, but I really
It's
like
one of
it.
mine. Yeah, I love it.
I really like the song Lover and You're on Your Own, Kid. I
Oh,
really
that's
love
good.
Tolerate It. If I
Oh,
My
that's
Tears
good.
Won't
I needed to
Repay.
say that one too. Yeah.
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 Ivy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
good.
love
Sparks
it.
Fly is a great song,
Yeah.
and I love Blank
Delicate. I
Space.
get
Yeah.
I get you.
Uh,
Wildest dreams.
I would have loved to have gotten Sparks Fly. I would say my top 5 on Speak Now would be Dear John, Sparks Fly, Enchanted, Long Live, and gosh, what's another one? Um, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, maybe I want to say Haunted, but I feel bad because I forgot the lyrics when she played it at my show.
That was one of your faves too?
I mean, I really like it, but it was just like one of
Yeah.
those things where I was so shocked she was playing it that I couldn't remember
Yeah.
the lyrics.
I
But I
think
remember all the lyrics. Oh, I almost do. But it's a really good song. Yeah, it's hard to speak now because like I listened to it a lot when it came out and during the
yeah.
Red era, and then I kind of like set it aside for several years.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I love Speak Now, but I don't know. I can't think of a song off the bat, but Sparks Fly is really good. That's definitely a fire
Yeah,
song.
drop everything
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
And I do like Enchanted. It's
she's
good.
so good. Yeah. Okay. So after that, we got to we cut like Wildest Dreams. Oh, we totally skipped Blank Space. Blank Space and Shake It Off. Oh,
Amazing.
yes, Blank Space was so good. She's the whole
She looked like
song.
a Barbie.
Yes, and I loved how she was dancing, and then, like, the Taylor, like,
Yeah.
videos were dancing exactly the same choreography, and
It's
then
so
the
cute.
backup dancers were taking the golf clubs and breaking the
Oh,
bass
it's
bar.
perfect. It was
Yeah,
so nostalgia because I went to the 1989 tour,
and I didn't.
but she had the golf club in 1989 tour, and I was
Yeah,
like dusting it off my brain. I was like, she did that nostalgia, like,
yeah,
it was so good. And I actually really liked the neon bicycles. I loved it. I
yeah,
don't know. I wish I could have seen the background more of the house burning, but the movie failed there. That was the
yeah,
critique on the movie.
yeah,
But I
I'll say
actually
that.
really liked the rest of it. Hello,
Hey,
bot.
bot. We were wondering where you were.
Yeah, well, I think where Taylor shines the most is her lyrics. She's a
Yeah,
really good writer. She's
yeah.
really, really good.
I
Not with
don't
every song though, because there's also like Me,
Yeah,
which is cringe. But
right. I don't disagree
yeah,
with her voice because she does have a singer-songwriter voice, and she writes songs to her voice, to her credit. Some
yes,
singer-songwriters don't, but she writes it to her voice, and
yeah,
that's why she can sing them well.
that's true. And Mountain says that they're Capricorn and Aquarius cusp, Moon and Aries and Scorpio rising. Hey, another Scorpio rising. Love that.
Yeah, so
Um,
many of them in my life. But yeah, then she goes into Shake It Off, which was great, and it was fine, and it was fun. I think it
loved
was
it.
just needed
Yeah,
because it is one of her most
it's
well-known
popular.
songs.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so it's fun when she does it. But it's the reason why is I think every tour you go to, she's always going to do it, and so you just kind of expect it. Versus you
Yeah.
get other songs and you're like, I can't believe I got this
Yeah.
song, which is
I will
why we don't think
say
as much. Yeah,
the 2 that I kinda teared up with 1989 was Style, just because it was starting and it brought it back.
yeah,
And then Shake It Off because it was nostalgic and it reminded me of that era of my life, and that was kind of
yeah,
my fearless era. That was Shake It Off was my anthem to just, like, go out there and take a chance and do it anyways. Because 'cause I'm very introverted, so it was really
yeah,
hard. But yeah, so that kinda brought that back, and I
yeah.
kinda teared up
And
because
then
it
we
was
got the choruses
nostalgia.
and the bridge of Bad Blood, which was fun.
Love. I
Hmm.
love Bad Blood. Bad Blood is one of her Evil Scorpio songs too, and I love it.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
you're
Scorpio
absolutely
and Leo.
yeah, and you're absolutely right that Wildest Dreams was between Shake It Off and Bad Blood, and that's where I because I was trying to remember where the
Mhm.
house was, and you're right because that's where it starts burning down, and when that happens, it's like really, really, really shocking, but it's also like it's hard to explain it, but it's really like when you get chills when you see it on tour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should have incorporated that in the film, and they could
yeah.
have easily cut out the one and
Because
made
my
room for
coloring is
it.
so pretty.
Uh,
Alex, am I pulling off black despite being a spring?
I think so, yeah, but it's because I mean, it's probably not to me, it's not your peak color, but it's still okay because 'cause you're
Yeah,
very neutral tone. We've established you're pretty
yeah.
nooch, but yes, you
He
are a
likes my
spring.
coloring. Or she likes my coloring.
You
I don't
look
know.
spring. You do look warm in the
Yeah. Well,
camera.
I'm wearing warm makeup, so that helps. My hands
Yeah,
are a little bit paler just because
yeah,
they're still warm. It's just the problem I have is
yeah.
that when you put makeup on, you're always gonna get a little bit tanner just because of the makeup consistency. If I went pale, it would wash me out. So that's why my hands are just a little bit paler, but it's still like the same
Mhm.
yellowish tone. But
Yes.
anyways, yes. Anyways, in case you want to
I
know,
have
since
a
you're talking
Leo
about
moon.
astrology. Yeah, yeah, he has a Leo moon, but yeah, but if you want to know about my astrology, I'm a Gemini sun, Gemini rising, Aquarius moon, which means I'm a stone cold bitch, or as Alex likes to say, I am a sunny day in middle of February.
Yes. So she's a sunny day in the middle of February, and I'm a dark midnight rain night in July, in late
But
July.
I love those nights. I love thunderstorms in
Yeah.
July. They're
So that's
great.
me. And then she's a
Mhm.
sunny day in February. She with
Yeah.
all the ice on the ground and the snow.
Oh my gosh, by the way, Alex, it snowed so much tonight. At my
It's
house. It like
because
snowed like
you're in the
3 inches.
north.
I didn't even realize it was snowing. I was doing my makeup and I was filming videos, and then I got this weather warning on my computer. It says heavy snow, and I'm like, heavy snow. And I look
You're
outside and it's snowing like this much. Oh, it's like snowball. What I forgot. I have to go get something. Keep it on air chain for like 30
okay.
seconds.
Well, yeah, I will just say, my Leo moon is probably what drives me for the clout and like for being on YouTube and that kind of stuff. Like it's that aspect of me that wants attention and stuff. I call it the Leo moon the daddy issues moon. It's the moon that makes you want attention from people. So I blame my Leo moon. It's also a 10th house moon for why I'm on YouTube in the first place. Yes, Lisa, you're giving warm, vibrant, neutral oil painting. Yeah, Lisa looks good. She's looking
Oh, you guys are
good
so sweet.
today.
You're just making me feel so happy and complimenting
Def
me. Looks
looks good. Yeah.
so it's perfect snowball snow too, because not all snow is
Oh,
snowball
wow.
snow. And I made this earlier and I put it in my freezer so I could show you
Oh my
snowball.
God. That's so crazy.
I know I haven't gotten this kind of snow in years because I've been in South Carolina.
It
So it's
makes
exciting.
sense. I mean,
Yeah,
because you're in the evil north where it snows evilly.
I know I want to
Yes,
eat
to
it, but I'm
influence people through your personal and professional growth. That's you too. Perfect. Yes, it is. But Lisa has a 10th house moon as well. She's just aqua. So we're a good match. We're good to
yeah,
work together. So we
that's
have,
awesome. Yeah,
so it's
and it
really
works
cool.
because air signs and fire signs complement each other.
Yes, we do.
Air feeds the
I
fire.
know the snowball. It's hilarious. So
Yes.
what's the, I guess we can move on to the next era.
Yeah, so the Lover House burned down, Bad Blood, and then the acoustic set, and we got
Okay.
our song.
I
I'm
didn't
glad she
hate
put at
our
least one
song.
debut song in there.
I didn't hate our song actually
Mhm.
as a song. It kind of took it all back because I remember hearing that when she was just coming up. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But I did cry to You're on Your Own, Kid.
Yeah. The coolest people are Aquarius. But who's this person and why are they buttering me up?
I don't know, but they have a Leo moon, so I don't
That's probably why.
know.
They're just really attracted to my Aquarius moon. It's true. They are the coolest people because they're, like I said, they're cold stone bitches.
Cold as
They're
ice.
stone cold bitches. You
I'm
know,
just kidding.
got the snowball to prove it.
You know, what's funny is my friend Eric that I just streamed with earlier.
Yeah.
He's also Aquarius moon.
By the way, you would not read to him the messages that I was sending about you were misrepresenting me. I was saying, not you, Eric, not you, Eric Pisces. You're different. You're different because you're the Aquarius moon.
The Aquarius
Trying
moon
to drive a
does.
wedge between us, Alex.
Okay, no problem.
Good night.
Yes, it will be posted. Don't worry. It'll be up.
Yeah. Well, anyways, yeah. So acoustics that our song, very fun, throwback. She wrote that song she was 14 for her ninth grade talent
Crazy.
show. I know. I said to my mom. My mom is just like just eternally impressed with Taylor Swift's talent, and I think she's disappointed that I'm not Taylor Swift because sorry, mom, can't help it.
That's hilarious.
I know. It's just so funny. And then she sang, oh my God, thank God, the best song off of Midnight's, which is You're on Your Own, Kid. And she did
So
such a good
good.
job too.
It was a perfect one for the film because
Yeah.
it's really a capstone song. And I've always described it as it's the perfect Pluto and Capricorn era song. So that's from 2008 till now.
Yeah.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
I cried like a baby for that one. That one got me. It was
I would have
good.
cried if I had emotions, but I loved it so much. I got emotional. And she, and the reason why it's so great too is because I'm glad she chose it because I don't know if she would have chosen it for the film if her fans had not taken it upon themselves to listen to that song and decide we're making friendship bracelets for the tour. That was not Taylor Swift driven, people. That was fan driven, and Taylor embraced it and she made it a part of the imagery of the credits as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was great. And I mean, it's such a good song and it's the millennial song. It really is. It's a very, very good millennial song.
It is.
And it's very Pluto and Capricorn coded. It's very good. So it's very well timed. And hearing it at the end of the era, it's so, I feel like all of us can relate to working really hard for stuff, having bridges burned, having to strive for things and getting to a sort of answer at the end, you know, and I think that that's how that song represents. And for her, it was her fame. But like for me, it was like my weight loss journey, which is like a major thing.
Yeah.
You know, for everybody else, it'll be something different. But yeah, every millennial pretty much has Capricorn in us. So we all can feel it. That's a very Capricorn song, to be honest. It's good though.
I love
Very
it so
good.
much. Yeah, so it was great to see that. And my show, like I said, I got Haunted and I Almost Do. And then we go into Midnights. And I have to say, I know we call Lavender Haze
Lesbian Haze.
Yeah, but I will say the intro of her song, Walking Up the Stairs, the way she saunters and then looks back, meet me at midnight. Like it's so cool the way she does it. I love it so much.
Okay, so this to me, there was definitely more satanic imagery with Midnights. It was pretty wild. It was very like, oh man, I'm like, girl, this is where she did the satanic ceremony, I think, in the show. So obviously when it introduces, there's like a lot of imagery and like her diving into the water. It's like very symbolic.
Oh yeah, we skipped over that part. She dives into the water after You're on Your Own, Kid, and then swims to the end of the stage. And by the way, like my mom was not looking when it happened during the tour. I was like, Mom, you have to look. It's coming. She's like, what? I want to sit down. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say too. When she did I Almost Do, when she walked there, from that part to the place where she was diving, that's when she looked at me.
Oh.
Before she dived into the water.
She looked at your opposite.
And she went like that. She was like,
they're both.
It was very much like, well, honey. Like she was like shy. I'm like, oh, I feel bad for you. You're just like fat and standing there and looking at me. She gave my mom the same look too. But
well, I wonder, you know, she's kind of psycho, and I feel like she might remember you if she ever saw you again. Because she might.
Crazy. She has like fans say she has a photographic memory. She'd be like, I remember you were the third row of the Detroit show, right?
She might. I'm serious. Like, I really think she would because I feel like it was that weird. You guys are like opposites. You're Gemini, she's Sag. You
Yeah.
could like see right through each other.
I don't want to say I'm bad at remembering people, but like I feel like the inverse of that, which happens to be a lot, is that people remember me all the time. And then they'll like I said, like I've had that a person contact me 6 years later and I remembered them ish because we had like messages I could look back on that reminded me. But I get this all the time where people just like, oh, you're Lisa. Oh, you're Lisa. And I'm like, yeah, who are you? Like all this that happens to me. So it's like the opposite, right?
Yeah, it kind
It's
of
weird.
is. Well, Celtic says Taylor mirror glimpsed Lisa. Yeah, I think
Probably.
so. I
You're
really
like,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like I think it's her Scorpio side again that makes her remember everything because it's like a very psycho, like she probably remembers everybody for security purposes. I know that's crazy, but she has
Yeah.
stalkers and stuff. So she probably would remember you. I'm not even just
Yeah.
saying that. Like I think she would she'd be
Yeah.
like you said, third row Detroit. Especially because you were so close too. Because you
Yeah.
were,
And I
I
was like
mean,
this
there's
when she looked at me. I was like, I was like, I didn't say it, but I was looking at her like, I love you.
That's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love
especially
it.
since after she sang a Red song, and I was so
Yeah.
like, you know me, I was hoping for a Red surprise song. Like,
Yeah, you
I
are.
mean, I wanted Holy Ground, obviously, but I
Right.
mean, I would settle for I Almost Do. That's another one I
It's a
really
good
love.
song. It's a good
I
one.
would have a Treacherous would have been great. Yeah. So yeah. So she dove into the stage, and I saw that, and it was amazing. And then she did Lavender Haze. Maybe I'm in
Yeah.
now.
Then she does the occultic baptism into the water. We're not done yet. And then when she comes out, she climbs the stairs of knowledge, which is like indicative. It is an occultic thing. So and then she goes into the clouds. It's like the stairway to heaven kind of vibe. So it was definitely like it was something. And then it goes into the lesbian haze, which I will say this is one of the songs where I felt like she had lesbian energy. It was just like a tiny little bit, but it
You know the
was
part where she was
there.
like, "Get it off your chest." Once he points to the guy's chest, and he's like,
It was performative hetero. No, I'm just kidding. No, it wasn't a lot. It was still like there's just I don't know. There's something to Lavender Haze that's a little bit gay, especially when she says like 1950 shit, and it's like it's kind of coded that way, where it's like you don't want a normal life or you don't want what's expected of you. It's kind of like a Elsa Let It Go, where it just kind of happens to be gay. It isn't really meant to be, but it just kind of does. Does that make sense? It's
"Yeah,
that
that
kind
makes
of
sense.
thing.
That makes sense."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think Lavender Haze is. So it was definitely there. And then it was good, like as far as the way it looked and everything in the clouds and stuff. And I sang it, but I sang my version because Lisa knows I am planning on spoofing it next year. So
Oh my god.
I sang my version
Am I
because I am gonna do you guys get the tea here, but I am gonna do another music video in the spring again. I'm doing like one a year. So I have it already
Yeah.
and it
And
is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
be
Lavender
featured in every
Haze.
single one.
Yeah, we have to have Lisa featured. So the second one is called Hypohaze. So you guys get the T, and I usually write it reflecting on the year before. So like when I
Yeah.
did my anti-hero, anti-thyroid one, I was reflecting on 2022. And so the Hypohaze will be reflecting on 2023. And then I'll do one that I won't say for
You know
2024.
what we can fight about in that video? We can like look at what you looked like during that the intro that we filmed when you were so moody. I thought your
I
face was gonna
was.
explode. And we should be like, what? Like, what in the world was that? And you're like, it's the hypo is, man. That is what poop does.
I'm gonna need Lisa's help on singing that one, at least
Yeah.
passing. So
Because
it's
I have to
hard to
teach you
sing.
like
Yeah.
how to sing which like part of your
Yes, because I was like,
chest
I don't know how
versus
to
mid
do
is
it.
like head voice. Yeah.
It was tough, but it was. I'm pretty happy with it. I do want to do a reaction to it on my main at some point when I won't die from watching it. So I'm still waiting, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so I sang my version of it, which I loved, and
Yeah.
then I actually like Lavender Haze, though, to be honest. And then it
Yeah.
goes into Antihero.
Which, by the way, I know it was needed because it's like technically her biggest hit of all time, but it was just kind of like, okay.
I actually loved it, to be honest. I know that that's weird, but I will say when Midnights came on, I was just like, you know? She does
Yeah.
her Satanic intro, and I'm just like, girl, whatever. Then it came on, and I'm like, gosh, I like Lavender Haze. And then it was like, I like Antihero. Like,
I mean, I like the
I
song.
was
I'm not
like,
saying it wasn't the most interesting performance. I do like how she took that time to wave to the people who can't see the front stage.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the imagery. I like weird, tyrannical Taylor in the background. I like it.
It's
It's
funny.
her evil narc Taylor in the background. Her narcissism in the back. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, but then she goes into one of my favorite parts of the whole show, which is Midnight Rain.
So
Um,
good.
with the transition where she falls off the
So
stage
good.
and they catch her and she transitions to a new outfit behind all the umbrellas and that guy's
Mhm.
dancing with the umbrella, like,
It was so good. So I
hmm
loved that one. And I was like,
yeah,
damn, I love Midnight Rain. Like, I was like, this is one of my top Taylor songs. Like,
yeah,
it's very relatable, but I loved it. And it was so well done live. It was so
yeah,
good. So that one was
agreed.
A plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it too. And it was just, I love how she did the whole song. And like I said, I like that one because the imagery is interesting to look at, and I do count that as part of do I enjoy the song or not. So I did like it a lot. And then she moves into Vigilante Shit, which I know you don't like the song, but the choreography was really cool.
It was okay live. I don't remember. I think I just put it in the lesbian category because she comes across as, like, very closet lesbian in that one,
Yeah,
like, I think it's because she's not comfortable with being sexual publicly. I mean, clearly, privately, she's fine with it, but publicly, I think it's hard for her because I think it's, like, her sex life is a very private thing, which totally valid, totally fine.
yeah,
Nobody needs to be seeing her do that, but she has that kinda closeted lesbo energy in that
yeah.
performance, and then she also is, like, she sits like a man. Like,
But
I
that's
don't
on
know,
purpose
like
because it's like when
yeah.
women, it's very interesting because
Mhm.
when this is like a theoretical thing, but it's weird that the closer you get to androgyny, the more sexually somebody perceives you. It's very interesting. So that's why you
Oh,
look at people like
interesting.
people obsessed over like David Bowie, and he was very androgynous.
Mhm.
So people were very sexually attracted to him, and I feel like that's what the line that Taylor is playing on. So let's say that
Mhm.
Taylor's straight, right? One of the
Mhm.
reasons why I feel like maybe to you, she comes off as so biased because she does play on those androgynous lines a lot
Mhm.
because she is so masculine.
Mhm.
And that's just another way of looking at it. And so in the beginning
Totally.
show,
Yeah.
when she's sitting like this,
Mhm.
when she's looking at you like, come get it. Like, who's that what is that movie with the murderer who like spreads her legs and you look at her? Who
I'm
is
not
that?
sure,
You guys,
but
what movie is that? What movie is that, guys?
I can't
It's like
remember.
it's oh gosh, what is it? Um, this will drive me crazy. Movie where she spreads. Okay, what's that? Yes, okay, here it is. Basic Instinct. Damn,
Right.
that's all I had to put
Yeah.
into the search bar.
That's hilarious.
Movie where
But
she spreads her legs with Sharon Stone. I knew it was something Stone. Yeah,
That's so funny.
she was doing it.
Yeah, I
Yes, yes,
mean,
with Sharon
no,
Stone. Yes.
I totally appreciate that explanation. And again, like, I'm not erasing I've never erased Taylor's heterosexuality. Like,
Yeah,
I do believe she's in love with men. Absolutely. I think she
yeah.
loves a lot of men.
People who say like the men
Yeah.
are like beard covers for her
No.
are like, no, like that's insane.
Mm-mm. I will never say that. I've never stated that. I think she's
You just
into a
think she
lot.
dabbles.
I think she's been in love with a woman. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying. And I think that she prefers men. I think she leans towards that, but I think she has had a couple girlfriends. That's my opinion. I think she's only had like 2 or 3 though. I don't think she's had tons. Whereas the boyfriends, oh my God. I
mhm,
mean, we could talk about it all day, right? But I
yeah,
think she's interested in men. I would never say she isn't.
yeah,
But that makes sense though from that
mhm,
explanation
yeah.
because yeah, she does. She really does embody masculine energy a lot.
And I will say, and another way of proving this, in my opinion, is if you look at there's two male backup dancers who do the vigilante shit dance, and they both
Yeah, so
they're wearing these.
interesting.
They look so good, and they're like to me, I'm like I know they're gay, but like they're like so hot when they're doing this very
I loved
feminine dance.
it.
Yeah,
I was so glad
so good.
she did that because I like that she can appreciate that in a way, some of the gays are girlies, you know,
Yeah.
because it's like a lot of people trip out about that, but it's like within gayness, there's a lot of gay people that do ignore gender differences within homosexuality. I appreciate that Taylor didn't
Yeah.
because it's very like there are extremely feminine gays. Like I am very
Yeah.
much the girly of a gay, you know, in that category as a gay person. Like
Yeah.
I could be up doing vigilante shit with her, you know. I wouldn't necessarily because I'm not a whore, and I'm just kidding. I'm not
Mhm.
like her, and I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well,
No,
she had
but
the
I
one who
mean,
did the,
yeah, I
umbrella
loved
dance
it.
from Midnight. Yeah, she did one from Umbrella Dance from Midnight Rain, so he was wearing, like, that outfit, and then she had the one who did the shake, shake, shake with the hair from the Shake It Off. He
Mhm.
was one of the dancers, and that the
Really
one with the
good.
shake, shake, shake guy, one of the dancers, he was also the, Red Taylor version in the circus outfit, in the
Mhm.
ringleader
Oh,
outfit.
interesting.
Yeah, so she had
Yeah,
them playing Taylor's as well.
I really liked seeing some guys do that dance. I actually really
Mhm.
appreciated that, which I know
Yeah.
is weird, but it didn't feel like a virtue signal to me. It actually
Well,
didn't.
it did not
Yeah.
because it was done right, and I feel like
Mhm.
let's look at it realistically, Alex. If I was going on a vigilante shit thing, wouldn't I have you behind me going, "Yeah, let's go,"
Yeah,
right? Like
that's true. No, and I really appreciate that because 'cause I'm like, for this is gonna sound horrible, but I just have to be real. For the longest time, I have seen Taylor as homophobic, at least internalized, which I still think there's an element of that. But I could see from that moment in the tour that maybe she doesn't externalize it anymore. She maybe did in the past, but I think she's not. Like, I wouldn't call her that anymore. So I was like,
Yeah,
whoa, because it's like that took it from a being kind of homophobic, using gay people as like a virtue signal and using them as a prop, which she's done many times, to having a deep understanding, even
yeah,
deeper than a lot of gay people have, which
mhm,
was really impressive to me. Like, I don't care what Taylor is, she gets it.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I will never call
Or
her
at least her
homophobic again.
choreographer got it.
Well, if they wanted to be a part of it, but
Yeah,
I think she still had to co-sign it. And I think she
yeah,
still was involved in it and she understood it. She wasn't like
mhm,
weird about them doing it at all. It
yeah,
was totally normal to her. So I think I will say, aside from the internalized piece, which I think is still, I will say I don't think she is anymore. So that's a
yeah,
huge thing for me because I have said that
yeah,
forever. So that was good because it wasn't a virtue signal. It was just there. It wasn't like a big deal. It was perfect. So
yeah,
happy with it. So that I will appreciate vigilante shit for. And I agree, much better live. Horrible on the album. Hate
mhm,
it. Total skip.
yeah. It definitely works as
Yeah.
Hey, John, how's it going? Yeah, John probably
Definitely,
woke up from one of
John.
his naps. Jonas. He always takes these late night naps. I'll be talking to him and he's like, it's like 8 p.m. He's like, I'm gonna go take a nap. And I'm like, why don't you just like go to bed?
I know, right? Oh my god.
Yeah. Sorry, John, we just called you out there. But yes, you're right. Yeah, and so yeah, it was great live, and it was great to watch, and it was a lot of fun. And then she moved on to her gay squad do basically some dance stuff for her, aka
Oh, yeah. I know, but that's Todrick, which Todrick is horrible and disgusting, and I hate him.
Mhm.
And so anything he's involved in, I think is horrible for everybody. I think it's horrible for the gay community. It's horrible for Taylor. He is horrible.
Well, I think that's
Toxic.
why she messed up so much in the beginning
Oh,
with her
yeah.
seeds of allyship because she was
Oh,
using him as a reference.
horrible. Like, it was a
Yeah.
horrible idea.
A lot of gay
Um,
guys don't like him.
no. I don't think anybody really does unless if they're
Mm-mm.
virtue signaling. Like, he's a horrible person. Just
Mhm.
on a personal level,
Yeah.
he's horrible. But yeah, ooh, man. Yeah, can't stand
Yeah.
him. That I agree with you. That led to a lot of her missteps, which hopefully she's moved past, which again, that was a good moment. And I felt like that
Mhm.
was actually, dare I say, actually progressive of
Yeah.
her to have that, like actually moving progress and creating more understanding. So I'm
Mhm.
really happy for her. And again, that takes a lot because it took a lot to get past you need to calm down. That was horrible. But that was really good. So it kind of
Yeah.
canceled it out a little bit. I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
good, yeah. Yeah, that's what you said, it's true representation
Yes.
versus, like, virtue signal
Yes.
representation, yeah. Yeah, and then after the Vigilante shit, it went into Bejeweled. I love Bejeweled.
So Bejeweled, there
I
was a
love it.
tinge
We always have
tinge of
opposite opinions.
just a little bit of Satanic, just a tiny bit with the
Mhm.
hands. They look kind of demonic on the stage,
You
but
mean the
that
part
was
where she did
it.
this?
The part in the hands, you know, the stage had the hands coming out and they were like this.
I don't really remember.
Okay, well, you'll have to look
Well,
at
if
it.
I
But
know this dance move she does is from a
the
TikTok.
dance
That's from
move is
yeah,
fine. Dance
yeah.
move isn't it. It's the stage itself. There's these weird claw-like demon hands that come out, and it looks kind of scary.
Oh
So
my
I was like,
gosh.
"Oh, that's a little weird." And then the song is like really money focused. So I was like, "Okay, it has like a tinge." So that one was like a tiny bit. It was like
I
10%
love Bejeweled. I don't sense this demonic energy. That's why I
I
think it's so
sensed
funny that you always
it,
do.
but
Yeah.
it was still pretty good. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it or anything. It
Yeah.
was
I like
fine.
the little solo dances. She had 2 other dancers who were very clearly gay get little solo
Yeah.
dances, and they got to, like, Vogue, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that was cute. It was cute to watch. And then, after that, the Mastermind, which I know you don't like, but I really love Mastermind, and I love the choreography where they're doing
Oh my
and the
gosh. The choreography was good, but I will say
yeah.
Illuminati, the checkerboard is an Illuminati, like, secret society thing. Which again, she could have slipped onto it, but again, she slips onto a lot of these things, so I'm
I
like, "Eh."
I just think to me, it's like it's so obvious. I don't even think it slipped onto it. I mean, it's like if I were thinking Mastermind, I'm thinking of Chess Master.
Well, I'm just saying I have to acknowledge that that's a thing. So I was like, this is kind of
I'm just saying,
Illuminati.
as somebody who knows nothing about the Illuminati, every choice she made makes sense to me.
Well, that's fine. I mean, there's plausible deniability. It wasn't like she put Hail Satan on the stage, but I mean, with Karma, she was like a step away, to be honest. But anyways, so with Mastermind, it's okay. The thing with Mastermind is I can just accept that it's like her favorite song ever.
Yeah.
And
I
when
mean, I
she
really
sang
love
it,
Mastermind. I listen to it all the time. Nobody
she just
wanted to
loved
play with
it.
me as a little kid. You know?
It's a very 3 song,
Steaming like a
extreme
criminal
3.
ever since.
Yeah,
I
that's a
love this.
very
I love the line,
3.
I'm only cryptic and Machiavellian because I care.
I'm just like, I can appreciate it for her, but it's kinda like I agree with our first assessment. It's cringe but cute. I get it. It's her favorite song. This is her moment. This is her tour. It's totally
Yeah.
fine. I wasn't complaining, but I was just like, "Oh my god, I forgot this is on here. I
Yeah.
forgot." So anyways, that's all I
Yeah.
have to say on that one.
And then we end with, "Come is my boyfriend."
So Karma, horribly satanic. She ends it on a high note of Satanism. The door was weirdly occult. That was really weird. I was like, girl, what the hell? Is that the doorway to hell on there? And then she had like, oh gosh, and then the lyrics are horrifically blasphemous, which we already knew that, but
Yeah. I
yeah.
just don't think she realizes what she's singing. Like, I think it's one of those things where, because she's like, "I'm Christian," when she says, "I'm Miss Americana," and I'm like, I
No, I
yeah,
don't think so.
I mean, whatever, you can identify as whatever you want, Taylor, I don't care. But I'm saying, like, but I think it would've been different, like, she's thinking when she's saying karma is a god, I think in her perspective, she's thinking, like, that, God is karma, you know? And so she's thinking God is karma, karma is God, you know? But to somebody else who's like you, it's gonna come off as, like, she's saying karma is a individual deity itself.
Yeah,
Mhm,
which is how she wrote it. So it's
mhm,
bad writing, but it's also like inaccurate. Like karma is just a force and it's a
mhm.
concept. It's like a
Yeah.
principle. It doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
other than that.
Even in the Hindu religion
Yeah,
that
she's
created the
off.
concept of karma, it like well, I mean, the word karma comes from that. They
Yeah.
don't see it that way.
Yeah,
Even the
so
gods in Hindu religion answer the karma as in the force, you know?
yeah, so I think it's just kind of a bad song overall. I have never really liked it. I
Mhm.
can kind of see why she ended it on that. I think she just because for her, she just loves it and she loves any opportunity to stick a knife into Scooter Braun. She can.
Kanye West,
Yeah, all of
now
them. I
Scott
mean,
Borchetta, yeah.
okay, I could see that mountain. Yeah, I hate it. I don't like that song. I mean, I like the one with Ice Spice. I don't know why. I just do. I like that one a lot better.
I do not like the Ice Spice Children at all.
I understand why you don't like it because it is bad, but I think it's so bad that it makes it funny, and so it becomes entertaining.
That's
So I
funny.
actually like the I Spice one better. And me and Eric make fun of it horribly all the time, and we change all the lyrics, and it's really bad. I can't say them because we make it really vulgar and horrible. But so I have good associations with that version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Mountain.
I like the lyrics in Karma that say "Your pennies make my crown" because the first time I heard it, I thought it was "Your panties make my crown." I was like, "What?"
Okay, I love that. I like that version better.
I know. I would like. I want more lyrics like that from Taylor, where she's saying like where she's just saying random crap, like
I know.
"Your panties make," because I honestly thought it was panties, but I mean panties is still a good line, but I mean I would love it if she did like something about panties in a song one time. Okay,
That'd be
Taylor,
hilarious.
TS11. Panties lyrics, get on it.
We need a rock album. I kind of want a rage album from you, Taylor. I feel like you have a lot of repressed rage that you need to get
Yeah.
out and just really embrace the lesbonic energy and go full
Yeah.
rock queen.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
agree. It would be amazing.
And instead of like going like I'm just all over here and like just still like upset about the thing that happened 10
Hmm.
years ago and how you tried to hurt me, just be like, get in people's faces and admit, you
Yeah.
hurt me, you a-hole. Let's
Yeah.
scream about it, you
She
know?
needs like a cathartic
Mhm.
release and like, um, which I mean, Mean Girls kind of talked about that, how a lot of women, they're not able to be directly angry, which I think
Mhm.
is true.
Yeah.
And it can be deeply cathartic to just be directly angry. And I think Taylor is a perfect example.
Yeah.
She needs to just be angry and just like put it
Yeah.
out and just let it go. It will probably be
Eh,
really healing for
yeah.
her.
And in my personal opinion, I do feel like Taylor Swift is Regina George in she's clothing. I don't think she's as bad as Regina George because I feel like Regina George was like Regina George was actually out to get people for no reason. And I feel like Taylor let people hurt Taylor on the way of her going out at people, right? She was
Yeah.
actually hurt. Versus Regina George was just like she was just hurt by her life, nothing no one actually did anything to her. But I feel like Regina George is not a lesbian. But she has all that huge
Mm.
masculine energy that she's not allowed to express. So like if Regina George
Hmm.
were a man, she would be able to rule the school and say whatever she
Hmm.
wanted and not probably be as big of a jerk as she was, right?
Hmm.
But that's why she had all that repressed anger. And then when she ends the movie playing lacrosse, like that's what Taylor needs in her life.
Hmm.
Taylor needs to like play lacrosse with a bunch of butch lesbians. And then I will believe that she's straight because she was like, why would I care? I'm surrounded by lesbians. Right?
That's true.
Mhm.
Well, but I think I don't know. I mean, I don't care. I really don't
Mhm.
care what she is.
Yeah.
I will just call out what I think is. I've always said I will always believe that she's bi. I'm a biler. I'm not a gayler.
Yeah.
I think she leans straight. I am one of those. I think she leans towards men. I will say that 15,000 times. People never believe me, but that's what it is. I don't think her relationships are
Yeah.
fake. There are a lot of gaylers that go really deep and they're like,
Yeah.
every relationship is fake and it's all a beard. I don't think that. I
Yeah.
don't, because she was so obviously into Joe, and like the breakup devastated her. I
Yeah.
don't care what anyone says. Like she couldn't even hide it. So no, she was very much in love with that man.
Yeah.
And I support her no matter who she's
Mm.
with.
Well,
Unless if it's Travis, then I don't support it. And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
think
okay with it.
I think she's straight. I just think she has a lot of masculine energy, and I think all women are flexible to some extent, and I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
that's what we sense. Because women are just women slide on the scale more than men do. Men are like it's very
Maybe.
difficult to find. I mean, bisexual men exist, but it's not as common as bisexual women. And I feel like there's women out there who are like 99% straight, but then there's that 1% that's like, yeah, okay. You know?
Or that one girl. Maybe that's what it is. It could be like a
Mhm.
once being bi.
Yeah.
That could
And
be
even
it.
then,
I
you
could
don't
see
even
that.
recognize it sexually. You just like really, because here's the thing about like the way that lesbians operate. Um, Lesbians and a lot of bisexual women grow up. They don't have like it's weird to explain to a man, but they don't have like the overt a lot of times overt sexual feelings towards women. It appears to them like I want to live with you for the rest of my life. We're gonna grow up together and we're gonna grow old together and we're gonna buy a house together and we're gonna have dogs. It's gonna be so exciting. And then the other girl's like, but I want to get married to man, so I'm probably gonna live with him. And the other girl just doesn't understand. She's like, well, why would you want to live with some dude when you could live with your best friend? And so I feel
Interesting.
like Taylor Swift, who had a whole room dedicated to just Carly Kloss in our house. This is Carly Kloss's guest room. There's another guest room for other people, but this is Carly Kloss's guest room.
See?
And so she
I mean,
probably like, yeah. So there's like probably that one girl, but even then, even if
mhm,
she could still, in my opinion, call herself straight. It's just that you get that one girl that you
mhm.
connect with, and then it's like,
90%, maybe like
yeah,
that, like a 90% straight. I could totally
yeah,
see that.
yeah,
I think for me, I just see something. I don't see her as completely straight,
hmm
and that's okay. And I'm not just saying that. It's just she's very masculine for a woman in a lot
hmm
of ways, and she has interest in women, and she has the. But I think that that's why she has that little bit of internalized homophobia because it's something that she not necessarily is, but there's like a part of her that is, and I think it bothers her because it's like I think it's harder to be bi. Yeah, I could see Taylor as a lipstick bi. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's harder because you don't fit into one category. With as many women as there are that idolize her, she definitely has had some top shelf opportunities thrown at her by now, plenty of opportunity to explore any bias situation, which there's a lot of evidence that she has. But I
hmm
think too, she does just sleep around a lot. So, and again, the ratio, many more men to a little bit of women. And it's like, it's a gray area. I agree. I agree with you, Lisa, mostly. I do. I think I'm maybe just like a step further than you, but we're
hmm
pretty close. Like I'm not like a
yeah.
radical.
Yeah,
And
the radicals
yeah.
out there are crazy. I mean, I'm just a
Yeah.
girl that's just straight in that, like, I've met so many straight girls who have made out with other women, but they would never be considered bisexual. I know that sounds crazy. I've
It
even
could
met
be,
straight
yeah.
girls
Especially if
who
she
have
was
had
drunk. Yeah.
the SDX with other
That's
women,
true.
and they're
But I still
still
feel
straight.
like
Yeah.
mostly straight. Maybe
Mhm.
not 100%, but
Yeah.
mostly. And that does make sense. I could totally see what you're saying. And she could be
Mhm.
in that category. But yeah, it's interesting. It's one of the things about her that I find interesting. But I hope, I hope she's happy. I'm not a fan of Travis. Oh my gosh. So in the movie, got a Travis commercial for the V.
So funny.
So scarring. And it was like I couldn't think of anything more corporate that he could be doing. It's like the most corporate machine, like, propaganda, whatever. And that is Taylor as well. But
Mhm.
it was just so funny. I'm like, it's so funny to me that she's with him. I don't know if I believe that their thing is real. I think it's publicity a little bit.
I do. I just don't think she's invested that seriously in it.
Yeah.
I do not think it's publicity because she doesn't need any publicity. I
I
think
think
that
he does though. That's
I
or he
don't
might. I don't
I don't
know.
think she would do it for him though. That just would be so off character for her. I honestly think she's just doing whatever the F she wants. He's another rebound and she's
Okay.
having a lot of
Fair enough.
fun and she's just not caring right now. Um so final thoughts on the film as I eat my last peep.
My final thoughts are it reminded me of why I love her, which is good, but that could be the satanic indoctrination
Mhm.
working or the magic
Mhm.
spells that she casts upon me. No, but it did remind me of why I love her. And I feel less ambivalent about her because I think I just realized like I need to just not read anything she writes. That's a statement because I don't think
Yeah.
it's real for one. And for two, it's really horrible most of the
Yeah.
time. Like she's never
You
saying something
you
good.
also get really upset about it, and, like, I mean, like, you it lasts for you. Like, to me, like, I can be annoyed, but I'm like, "Eh," and, like, 5 minutes later, but you will think about it for days.
Well, I think about everything for days, so she's not special in that regard. Like, I just think about stuff all the time. Like, I'm introverted, I
Right.
just think.
Well, you've seen me mad before, like, if I get mad, it's
Yeah,
so hard to go away, but it takes a lot to get me
it
to that
takes a
point.
lot. It doesn't
Yeah.
take very much for me to get mad.
Mm,
I'm very quick to anger and
mhm,
I'm quick to anything though. I'm just very emotional and I'm very introverted and I reflect. I'm a very ruminating person. So it's not
mhm,
even like her. I ruminate on everything. She's just another thing. It's like
mhm.
she's another thing on my list that I think about for a long time. So but anyways,
Wow.
yeah, but I need to just I don't know. I need to either like dissociate what she writes from her or just not read it because it's so
Yeah.
awful. Because it's awful. A
Yeah,
lot of the
I
stuff
really
she
do
says
think
is
she wrote this a
awful.
year ago because I do think 1989 was supposed to come out
Yeah, I
last
agree with
October.
you.
Yeah.
I do think this tour is kind of healing for her too. But
Mhm.
so I will just say my last statement is I'm a huge Swiftie. I was the biggest Swiftie in the theaters. I know that for a fact. I was the first one to show up, the last one to leave. And I'm glad I went. It was very good for me to go. And I'm glad we're doing this stream.
Yeah. And my final thoughts are, what do you think of the bloopers? I thought they were really cute.
They're cute.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved all the friendship bracelet trading she showed to the fans. I like the bloopers because
Oh, somebody's alarm is going off. Just
yeah, I
keep
can hear
going.
that.
I'll mute my.
Okay. Yeah, so like I really liked it because um the we have to remember that Taylor's a dork and she owns it proudly. She's proud of being a dork.
I'll be
And
right back.
okay, she's proud of being a dork, and she knows how to make fun of herself. And like there's sometimes where she takes herself too seriously, but there's definitely other areas where she makes fun of herself. And I think that's one of the cases where she can. Like she under like there on the bloopers, there's like times where she gets the choreography wrong and she's laughing, or she trips, or something that her costume breaks, and it's just all really cute. And I really I like that part of the bloopers.
I don't know what to do. It's my mom's
That's
car, but
okay.
her thing isn't working, so I don't know.
Okay, well, I mean, we should go take care of it. But anyways, buddy, we were at our end anyways, and I need to go to bed because I got work in like a few hours. But um, I'm so glad we could meet and hang out, and I'm glad you went to go see the movie. And I enjoyed my peeps. I did not get any more mouth ulcers that I know of from yes.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I guess I'll have to try to figure that out. So,
yeah, we'll make a thumbnambnail to put on this for later. But
yes.
in the meantime, try to choose something where we don't look terrible. Let's give it like a smile. Yeah, like, and then just clip that and make that the
Okay.
the thumbnail. One more time. Let's do it. Okay, that works. And you like froze too, Alex.
Nice.
This is why I had to host a stream, buddy. Anyways, guys, it was great. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Until next time, the mean stream is finished. Goodbye. End stream. Maybe now.